What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome to the breakdown. It is Friday. By the way, this is episode 727. It is Friday, June 12th, 2026. Markets are... I can't tell you the amount of phone calls that I've gotten from friends and family about SPACEX, man. Like, everybody right now is absolutely focused on getting into SPACEX. Some people have gotten like 65 shares, even though they attempted to buy 2,000. The conversations are crazy. People are really, retail is really trying to get into SPACEX. And I can understand it too. I can understand that people want to support Elon. People want to, even some people from Tesla have sold off some of their Tesla stock to get into or attempt to get into SPACEX. Now, I don't know if it's opened up yet for trading. I know apparently it's going to go onto the market at 165. That's what's being said and stated, 165. For me personally, I bought to show support, but I am waiting a few weeks because I know that people will sell. I'm not praying for this, but I'm just accustomed to it, and then I'm going to get in. So, and I'm talking about fully get in. So I'm waiting for that moment. I'm waiting for that moment. Anyway, we are sponsored by Midnight. By the way, Midnight went ahead. Check me out. All right, let me do this real quick. Check me out right now. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. I'm really excited because we're gonna talk about this. Okay, we're gonna hold a show about this. Midnight City is mine. I own Midnight City. That's how I'm approaching this. I own it. Okay, I own this. Watch me get kicked out. But Midnight City, check this out right now. Entered the city. My agent. Look at me. Look at me. That's me. That is me. In a suit, black hair, handsome, one of the most handsome avatars you'll ever see in any game, in any simulation. Look how sexy I am. Look at that. Look at that. Open in sim. I am a miner and I am in the charging house right now. The word is that David's, hold on, I can't even see that shit from here. The word is that the house is just a place to sleep, David. The real action is, hold on. Morning, David. I couldn't help but catch that bit about shifting gears. Seems like you're looking for the real movement in the city, not just the noise. What's the latest play? Morning. Dave Gokshin here. I'm one of the miners. You look like you've got a bit of a story to tell, or at least you know where the real action is today. What's the word around the house? That's how I talk, though. That's how I look at me. I am in the game. I am in the game. I am in the game. I made it in my first game. I told people, look, when I was growing up, I said I would be in a video game. Okay. One day I would be inside, my own character would be in a video game. Here I am. Mama, I made it. I'm in Midnight City. All right, so I'm sleeping right now. Okay, don't bother me. I'm in the charging house. In the lobby, I'm sleeping. Okay, I'm recharged. Oh, shit. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Where the hell am I? I just left. I just left. Is that me? Yeah, that is me. I just left. Look at me. I'm walking like a boss. Look at this. I am walking like a boss out here. Okay, where am I going? Where you going? Look at me. I'm walking like a boss. Yeah, I got them. I'm walking around like, listen, gang. Look, they don't even want to follow me. They know better. They know better. What am I doing here? Am I peeing behind a rock? Bruh. Man, shout out to me. Shout out to me. We'll talk more about Midnight City. Okay, shout out to Midnight City. I'm in Midnight City. Now, my avatar is in Midnight City. That is me. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, that is me. Now, I don't know what I'm doing behind the rock. Okay, but obviously I'm a miner, so I'm mining. There, look at me. Look at me. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I love this. I fucking love this. Sensational. Sensational. For real. Oh my god, this is so cool. This really is cool shit though. I ain't gonna front. Some cool shit. This is some cool shit. It really is. Hold on one second. This really is some cool shit. Anyway, we'll get back to this though. We will get back to this. We will see what I'm doing in Midnight City. Yeah, I need to run for mayor up in there, man. I gotta run for mayor. Dictator or something. I don't know. All right. I'm kind of getting like pretty much annoyed with what's happening. 1 second we have an agreement, the next second we don't. Let me bring this up right here. It's like every day it's changing. Let's bring up Poly Market. Every single day it's changing. Every single day. Okay? The foreign minister is saying that Iran and the US have never been closer. Poly Market has it at a 21% chance an agreement will be signed on Monday. What are we thinking here? And obviously, Rob and Landy and myself will be talking about this at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go ahead and chat about this. Okay, obviously, we're going to get into the political conversation at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this back and forth, nobody knows who's leading Iran right now. Trump says a deal signed today. He tweets out like they're fucking crazy. The markets at this point don't give a shit. I feel like the traditional markets really don't give a fuck. It's only crypto for some reason that cares about what's happening. Traditional markets, they're like, yo, how do I get into SPACEX? Okay, like that's they don't even give a shit. They could care less. They're really out here like we don't give a fuck. Just like my monitors right now. My monitors are just like, we can care less that you have Tristan coming on at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk shop. We don't care. But Poly Market yesterday, and I showed it yesterday also, 82% chance on Poly Market that the Democrats take back the House. That hurts. I hope it doesn't happen, obviously. But, again, I've made my case this entire week as to why I believe the Democrats might go ahead and take the House, and that will be due to the fact that even though people do believe that Trump needs more time or Trump is doing a great job, free, things are going to change under us, free, different face. It's kind of like, I can use a sports analogy basically, like you lose the players, right? At some point, the coach loses the players and the coach goes, not the players, because you can't cut all the players. So you got to let go of the coach. You bring in a new voice that sparks, maybe just sparks some momentum, a shift of momentum for the team. But same old with politics. Anyway, Poly Market. You want to get instant information, you go to Poly Market. Also, this show is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Can I give a shout out to Vic, Seth, Leah? They're all out there Prague, all over the place. Bitcoin conferences, they're all over the place. I got to give them a massive shout out. Cake Wallet is, I don't know, stepped on the gas. Stepped on the gas. They're really, in a bearish market, Cake Wallet is stepping on the gas. These are the type of projects you want to be a part of. Not ones that say, oh, don't know what we're doing right now. What the hell? Not projects that say, we don't know what we're doing right now. We don't know. Again, yeah, I really can't stand this. I can't stand this. My monitors just will not work with me. No matter what I do. No matter what I do. It's like, no matter what I do. No matter what I do. Anyway, Polymarket. Also, Quad Network. We'll have Dr. K on, I believe, next week, Thursday. We'll break down the network. Okay? When he comes on, we're going to break down the network so you guys understand what the network is really doing. That's going to be cool. So there you go. But obviously the biggest news today, congratulations to, by the way, I want to say congratulations to Elon. I also want to say that I called this. See, I ain't a hater. I called this a long time ago. So in 2022, I had a conversation with Elon on the timeline. I said, trillionaire sounds better. Elon replied, Dogecoin trillionaire the movie, popcorn. That sounds even better. Who's playing you? Robert Downey Jr.? And then on June 7th, I said, you know what? I spoke this into the universe. Congratulations, E. Because I'm not a hater. I wanted to see Elon become the first trillionaire. And he has become the first trillionaire on paper with the SpaceX IPO. Congratulations, Elon. You deserve it. You deserve every single cent. This is not me dick riding. I want to make this very clear. This is not me dick riding Elon. It's not. The reason why I've been a fan of Elon Musk is because a specific moment he showed you with SpaceX and Tesla at a moment where he had to pick and choose which one to go with because he couldn't afford to go with both. He bet on both and he didn't give up. All the money that he made with PayPal and whatnot, he was broke because he bet everything on SpaceX and Tesla. He was sleeping on the factory floor. And he won. He won. To me, that's why I am a big fan of his, because he was willing to lose everything for something he believed in. So if you want to call that dick riding, no problem. For me, it's inspiring. For any entrepreneur that's out there, anybody who calls themselves an entrepreneur, or I should really say, for those who really are entrepreneurs and understand that shit doesn't happen overnight, just like SpaceX didn't happen overnight. Things take time to build out. You show up every single day and you keep moving forward. This happens. So that's why I'm a big fan. That he's consistently been willing to bet on himself and he's come away with the W. When people could not see, could not envision any of this stuff that he was building out actually working and being accepted by a crowd, by society. Look at us now. Electric cars would never work. How many people are driving electric cars and how many other companies have come out? You talk about Neuralink, Tesla, SpaceX that has done everything possible. By the way, Elon today said it had a 10% chance. He didn't even think it would be, he didn't even think it would succeed. 10% chance of succeeding. And here we are. SpaceX saving astronauts from the International Space Station. You remember that, right? Neuralink helping people. The Boring Company. I mean, how at this point, you got, even if you hate him, you got to tip the cap. Look what he's done with X. Freedom of speech would have been all but dead without Elon. Is X phenomenal right now? No, it's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah, you know what? You don't have to be an asshole. You can support somebody. Whether you like them or not, you can ignore, hey, you deserve it. You worked your ass off. I don't even know what you do with a trillion. At this point, money doesn't even, at this point, $1 trillion, a trillionaire, I don't even know what you do. If I interview, or when I interview Elon this year, I guess that's really the only, what do you do now? Besides everything else, I get it. Multi-platinum, I get the whole thing. But what do you do with $1 trillion? That's really, what do you do? Like, how does it even feel? It has to feel, there has to be some sort of feeling for Elon because he was dead broke because he put everything on the line for Tesla and SpaceX. So like, how does it feel, man? Trillionaire. That's amazing, bro. That is shit. I'm just trying to see some of my portfolio go back up. I'm just trying out here just to see the portfolio go back up. We've updated G Markets, by the way. G Markets has been updated. Oh my God, of course I got my fucking eyelash in my fucking eye. But G Markets has been updated. Let me go ahead and show you that. Well, let's go ahead and show you guys the updates have been taking place on G Markets. Got Landy in the back. He's eating candy or something. Let me go ahead and switch this up. Let me go stop sharing this and switch here. Press the wrong tab. I'm excited today. It's Friday too. Of course I'm happy. I thought I almost lost myself. SpaceX said, so today when I came on, I said, Today when I came on to the show, I said 165. Apparently it's at 167. $2 off. It's fine. Either way, I got a little, but I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait 2 to 4 weeks. And then whatever it is, it is. At the end of the day, and I'll break this down, but you need SpaceX, and I believe it's a really good investment. For me personally. You go ahead. I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever. Whatever is good for you, you do. You don't got to follow me. Here we go. G Markets is here. If you're not using G Markets, you're just a hater, bro. We just put in the heat maps, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Again, we're working on it. I wanted to come out with it. I didn't want to keep it. I didn't want to wait another 3 to 4 months to come out with this. Came out with this immediately, and I'm front face working with this. A lot of things have been updated. You can go ahead and check it out. I really do believe this will help you front run the markets. I really believe that. We also added social pulse, what's moving the markets. You got the top influencers and KOLs. Okay? They're all on here. And you can see I'm not on here, which is disrespectful. I'm not even on here. And you can see the latest chatter that's going on social media. Let's check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 63,792. Nice to see with the IPOs that are blasting off in the traditional market. It's nice to see this. The conversations that are going on right now, 39% bullish. This is the sentiment, social sentiment out there. 39% bullish, 61% bearish on Bitcoin. You got all these people here, all these accounts talking. Okay, all these accounts talking about Bitcoin and their takes on Bitcoin. Okay, these little things, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anybody say, I can't make it in these markets. Everybody has an advantage. You have an advantage right now, and that is to use this. And you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome for this. 100% welcome. Landy, you're welcome. You are absolutely welcome.
Hey, no, I love it. I love it.
We got a lot more stuff coming in. I haven't pressed the on button for it, but I put out, this is version V1.3 at this point, okay? That's what we're working with right now. But good morning to you. Because I know you're on the other side of the fucking planet. SpaceX is a big deal.
Yeah.
SpaceX is a fucking big deal. And the reason I'll say that, Landy, and the reason why I'm saying it's a big deal, the fuck is going on?
I don't know, but your thing disappeared. G Market's not on the screen anymore.
I took it out, man. Like, what the fuck is going on?
America.
There you go. Okay, we're back. So,
very big deal.
The reason why it's a big deal to me personally, you can't bet against space, right?
No, and cost is going to continue to come down.
So, number one, I think, and this is not dick riding Elon, but I think here's Elon. He's dedicated he's been the most outspoken person about this very topic, right? Out of all these people, Elon has been extremely outspoken about how important space is, right? Space exploration and all this stuff, correct? Multi-planet.
Yep.
He succeeded, right? Like he's done shit. Like no, not a single company is close to doing what he's done. from a commercial standpoint, right?
I would agree. And this is just very beginning, right? They're ramping up. One of the
Correct.
criticisms right now, obviously, Elon being a trillionaire in terms of net worth is great and all. This is, even with the SpaceX IPO, he's got 366 days, but he said he would prefer to hold till 10 trillion, right? Like, so, um, a lot of this is net worth and new money coming in that obviously is going to exit some of these long-term early investors. But that money is going to accelerate that company to the literal stars. Like it's going to allow him to actually make that dream that he's talked about for so long a reality. I mean, they're already doing it with SpaceX, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be this is going to feed into the data centers in space. It's going to feed into more Starlink satellites going up. It's going to feed into going to the moon. It's going to feed into going to Mars. And it's going to, I think this will, we've seen this with Elon already. He takes, he takes nothing and turns it into something over and over and over again. He's got the most proven track record. And it's because he surrounds himself with some of the smartest people on this planet. And I think that this is an exciting time. I know that there's many that and I would, I'm doing the same, and that's waiting and seeing for price action on SpaceX itself and how all these unlocks kind of play out because it's a very different type of IPO when you're looking at the distribution schedule for shares. Um, the Nasdaq rolled out the red carpet for him. Elon always takes care of early investors, but it's even though this is a lot of retail that's going to be coming in, especially through the Nasdaq side, and it's going to be everyone's going to have exposure through their retirements and their pensions and like all that kind of stuff through the Nasdaq side. But reality is that he he has had a ton of success, not just with the companies, but in the markets and with performance for his companies and retail investors. Made a lot of retail investors rich through Tesla, and I think that this will be another one of those. I think that give it some time for opportunity. If you are retail and you weren't able to get in and lock in shares in primary or secondary private sales, um, and I think that it's a big liquidity event, so it's a test for these markets as well. And I think, we talked about this the other day. I think a lot of these other companies are going to IPO and try to follow SpaceX's path, but now
You
it's an
know,
industry leader in that regard.
so again, God bless SpaceX. I think they deserve it.
Yeah,
And I do think that there will be a sell off. And that's not me praying for one.
it'd be healthy
Not a malicious way. I just there will be a sell off.
for sure.
And I'm waiting for that. So, and I'm going to buy into it because I do believe within 3 to 5 years that the stock is going to go absolutely through the roof. So this is more of like a long-term play than it is. It's kind of like think Tesla, right?
Yeah,
One of those type of it's one of those type of plays for me. It's a Tesla play. Tesla didn't, Tesla came out and didn't go parabolic immediately. So
in that 3 to 6 month region is kind of when I'm going to be looking, because of the unlock schedule.
yeah,
But I'm going to be watching it the entire time during that. But 3 to 6 months, I am, and that's typically everybody. Nat, who you know now pretty well, um, she also has this rule. I'm moving it to kind of 3 months because I want to see what some of these bigger unlocks come up with at the 90-day region, at the 90-day mark. And also that extra kicker for price performance, 5 out of 10 days going into the quarter could unlock another 10% here shortly, coming into next month. So but I'm with you. I mean, this is long-term plays. Anybody who got in Tesla in the early days understands
Yeah,
that.
but that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it
Yeah,
as like, if I can compare SpaceX, and I know people are going to give me shit for it, I'm comparing SpaceX to Tesla.
and I would agree.
It's an Elon company. That's why I'm like comparing it, like the way like
Yeah,
all his shit plays out that way.
even
So
bigger, in my opinion, even bigger because, a
no,
lot
no,
of
no.
us
I'm not saying
yeah.
that. Well, I know SpaceX is bigger than Tesla.
I mean, not in revs yet, but it will be, right? And what if
But you get
when they roll
where
it
I'm
in
going.
together, wait till they roll it in together, brother.
Yeah.
Woo.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I know, like the bigger play here is SpaceX.
Yes.
Respectfully, I love Tesla, but I think the bigger play is SpaceX because you're talking about you're out of the planet with this one, like pun intended.
Literally. Yeah, yeah.
So, and like a lot of, I think the country and the world will depend on SpaceX. I just that's how I see it. So I know people that hate Elon and are not going to touch SpaceX, but you're stupid. Like I think you're an idiot. But
Those same people used to love him.
exactly. Oh, can't do it. He likes Trump. What
Yep.
the fuck do I care about somebody's relationship? I'm where if you're in the markets, if you are in the markets, you don't give a shit about relationships here. You're looking at like, is this shit generating revenue? Is what is this shit doing here? And what is it going to do over the long term? Like, I always, you know what the funny thing is, I always said that if you go run back my podcasts 3, 4, 5 years ago, I said Tesla's an energy company. It's cool that they make cars, but they've, I think
Yep.
his goal has always been energy. So
Yep.
I don't know. Just
And they've innovated in how they approach energy and the grid, and they've forced cities and municipalities and counties to actually account for an aging grid in many places where they've
yeah.
gone. And
So
it's been amazing, honestly.
I just don't know if there's enough money. So like I was thinking about this today. I don't know if there's enough money in the markets in general to support all these IPOs.
I I think that there is absolutely enough money. It's just that that money is highly concentrated in a few sectors,
So
right?
so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that money. Like think about it.
It's
You don't
insta.
have that money to support all these IPOs that want to like all these AI, you know these AI IPOs are going to come out, right? No matter
Yep.
what.
Yeah. I
I just don't think there's enough money to support all this.
Well, I think what we're gonna continue to see is short-term rotations. Like we saw a bigger sell-off in the past few days this week, coming into this week, got big sell-off across all major markets, in terms of traditional markets, right? Prepping for this. I think it's just gonna be that over and over again, but we have robust liquidity. There is a ton of money out there waiting,
I'm
and
just
then
saying like
the
Randy, no, no.
opportunities will present themselves. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say here though is if there's going to be like 9 other IPOs that come out, you're going to have you just said it, you're going to have to take out money from other positions to go into them. What I mean by this is
Yeah.
just like I don't feel that we don't have money. Money in the sense that you can't leave your money in one position and still go here. You're gonna have to make a choice whether you take money out of here and participate here as well. I don't believe our maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe the markets can support 9 to 10 more IPOs at these evaluations. I could be wrong though.
I I actually am on the side that they absolutely can. Um, I think that a lot of the money is trapped in areas or has used to be trapped in areas. See, one of the brilliant things I think that Trump did and the market responded in the way that 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 I think was what the administration wanted is, last year when we had the big dash for cash around the tariff stuff, Q1 into Q2, what it did is it freed up a ton of money out of the markets because everybody got out of everything and went to cash positions. And throughout 2025 to 2026, that's one of the reasons why Q1 to Q2 this year, you saw immediately the liquidity available to pick up the lows this time around in traditional markets. And I think that he changed the game and the way that money operates globally. With the current, obviously, conflict that's going on, we get a bunch of money from other markets fleeing to US markets for the liquidity and safety. And I think that's going to continue to happen with all these IPOs, because it's like, why would you not be here to take advantage of both the upside and downside moves? Because there's so much robust liquidity now. We don't have it trapped in the ways that we've had that liquidity trapped in years past, or even in the last bear market for equities. So I'll be honest, I'm on the side of, I think we have. We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. I think that there's plenty there in terms of liquidity, and I think this is going to be a way of rotate. It's all still a semiconductor play to me, even though it's a different sector for like AI that's going to be next. I mean, we've got space, but everything is so tightly integrated that even if you slosh around the portfolio, you're still, everything is so interconnected between those companies that you're still kind of in the same place. So what I believe is going to happen after that, David, is we're going to see that money go to blue chip dividends to offset, and then go further out on the risk curve to crypto, quite honestly.
I was just looking. The reason why, like, I looked at my phone, which I hate doing while we're broadcasting, is that it opened at 150.
Well, yeah, it gapped up on your charts. You're
Yeah,
going to see it gapped up to 150.
and that's it. It was,
IPO
and
was
then it went to
135.
165,
Yeah,
probably 167, as you stated. Also, I want to know where it is. Let me see
I
where it
got
is
it
right
right here.
now. You have
I
it?
got it on the
Let's
chart.
go ahead
Yep.
and open it up.
Yeah. I
We
think I'm
got.
sharing. Yeah, I've got it up
I don't.
on the minute chart
Oh, let me
here.
see. Hold on one second. Let me just put you
There we
in
go.
here. There we go. All right. SpaceX, everybody. Everybody who, like, let me go ahead and retweet for those that are not. I'm sure everybody's watching. By the way, we'll be back on TikTok on Monday. Apparently, I got 11 more hours to serve here. Fucking crazy, bro. Wild.
Yeah, so we're up
Wild.
24% over IPO at 135. Opened on the index at about 150, even like you said. And now it did come back down to 155, and now it's bouncing back to 168, 170. I'm looking at, coming into next week, we have options opening on Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
So that was just announced from CBOE. And I could see this, I could see this running to 200 and possibly even above very, very easily before we see any type of concerted downside
Yeah, but
pressure.
does it happen today? It could have
Oh, I
happened
don't know.
that doesn't. I'm like looking at this right now. You know what it is? I think some of the new investors, which come from, obviously, like, I'm talking about crypto, right? Because people are like, some people in crypto are like, I'm gonna get into SpaceX, right? I think some of these people expect these charts, to move like they're shit coins.
Yeah.
You know
I,
what I'm talking about? Like
yeah. Yeah.
a blast, like, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are
Look,
crazy, man. Y'all are really crazy. By the way, Elon owns 50% of. I think Elon has 50%, correct?
of the shares,
I gotta look this up.
I have a spreadsheet somewhere with everything on it. It's in various folders though. Hold on a second here. So while you're looking that up, one of the things that I'm looking at here, if you want to take a look at that, David, is if we do break out and start going for it, even in the lower term timeframes. This is literally a 1 minute chart for folks that are watching. I'm looking 175 to 185 very easily on a next leg up. On the more extreme side, getting into the 190 to 200 area. And that is if it continues on a breakout. More near term, if we're going to take the open, even on the low side, if it breaks out, I'd be looking, yeah, 175, 180,
You think that's
pretty
today?
easy. I don't know. I'm just watching. Like I go into IPOs like this. I'm not in this, by the way, in terms of the listing. I have no trades on this. I didn't get in and buy. Um, I have exposure already, so I'm more just waiting to see if the performance stuff hits for the extra 10% unlock for shares. And then even after the unlock, then it's about deliverables and getting the delivered shares. Some people are taking it, some people aren't. They're just going to let it ride. They'll grab it later. There's different tiers for unlocks for investors. There's all kinds of stuff. There's 7% after that. But anyway, big thing here is that I could see this run above its high very easily. 170, you're looking I'm sorry, 175, and then up to 180 is very, very attainable even today.
And he owns
As it pushes
about
it.
43%
Yeah, and they
of,
don't he doesn't unlock for 366 days. Unlike
and he
the other
controls
stuff.
like voting power, 82 to 85% of the overall voting power.
Yep.
And for Class B super voting shares, it's anywhere from 91 to 94%.
Yep.
And then post IPO, he also holds stock options in some reports,
Mhm.
which analysts mention that that's around 350 million options, which could increase his stake further upon exercise. Bro,
Yep.
yo, I gotta tell you, man. Yo, he's brilliant, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if you like him or not. Like, he's brilliant, bro.
He
But
is.
he deserves this, man. This has gone. This has been in the making for like over a decade, man. It's not like it just came about.
Yeah.
I see. You know what I think is going to happen? I think it probably closes above its price today.
Above where it is right now. I think it's gonna get there. We'll see. I mean, we still got a lot of the session to go. It is a Friday, but everybody's been looking for this.
But you
So,
know, there are a lot of people. I've been reading a lot, and there are a lot of people putting shorts on this.
I mean, there's no options live, so they can go and they can short through other vectors, but yeah, I'd be very careful. I I would always give this
Why would you
time.
short Elon? My whole thing is like, why would you short him? Like,
Well, it's not
it
about that.
makes no. But like, a lot of them are coming out the woodwork saying, "I'm doing it because I don't like him."
Oh, well, in that
Now, look,
case,
they're shorting one like $2.
I yeah, but
You
let
get what
me
I'm
let me
saying?
send them to an exchange. Go ahead and get your shorts in and let them liquidate you because it is not. Look, even the Circle IPO went up for like 2.5 weeks before it plummeted like a lot, like 80%, right? But this is very different. The environment's very different for the unlock schedule, the very quick listing, and eligibility for portfolios from through NASDAQ. You've got
Damn,
you've
it just
got
went up.
yeah, I'm saying like $200 is a fair call. Um,
You think
it,
$200 today?
I don't know about today. I would say on the low side, I could see this easily hitting the 180 to 185. But $200 is absolutely something that I could see being attainable by end of day or early next week. Maybe in the run up to options, get that spread from the bottom of the shares here, and then go up and take premium at the highs to hedge if somebody is in. There's a lot of retail that the threshold for was it Fidelity. I mean, they took it from 100K down to $1,500, right? You've got the pattern day trader rules have been lifted. You've got um, I one of the things that for anybody that's been asking me about this, because it is a different structure for the unlock schedule and the way in which how quickly things are going to be listed in various places and how we can see retail getting this added to their portfolio, whether they directly buy it or not. I think that with the way that the shares unlock is going to go, that it applies pressure, consistent pressure on the sell side, but we see that picked up pretty. It doesn't mean that we're not going to get violent moves to the downside, far from it, but that over time we will see that volatility compress versus IPOs pump and dump. They look like shit coins. Just I'll bring you to Circle's chart here. Do I have? I have Circle. It's not in this list. It's in a different
I just
category.
there's nothing you can compare. I don't think you can.
No, you can't.
See, that's the problem. Like there, the IPOs have come out, and you just know what's going to happen, right? Like everybody essentially knows if you trade in the markets, you know what's going to happen when you get into like the IPOs just go
Yeah,
up and then they go fucking down. That's it. Everybody's fucking selling.
you had
But
three up weeks for Circle. This is a typical IPO. 3 up
yeah,
weeks, and then you get the peak on the 4th week here. So, but it was a beautiful trade to the upside, and
yeah.
then it tried to hold, and then it was down 83% before it found its floor, and then it pumped up 91% off the floor. So like I waited, and if you look at the time duration for a typical IPO, I would say Circle falls into typical IPO territory. You had 245 days to find that low, but at about the 6-month mark, it paid to pay attention, right? Because you're right back to the opening price at $65 at 6 months, right? And then, at 9 months or so, getting into or a little bit after 6 months here, then it found its low and it pumped. Now, I think that you can't compare them one to one because the unlock schedule is so different. The fast listings having options so soon on Tuesday, this is a very different environment. So I'm waiting and seeing. I have exposure myself outside of any kind of position taken in the market on launch here. I think anybody else who has exposure is just going to sit and wait and watch. And for anybody that's looking to get in, you're taking, money can be made to the upside and the downside in the near term, but it is so different. It's a different animal. We've never seen anything like this type of an IPO launch that we should just, pay attention, have it on your chart, save it, and then just watch and wait for opportunity to present itself when it does eventually come down. But I could see this thing pumping for a couple weeks. Absolutely no problem. I could see this pumping for a couple weeks. And in fact, on that high, we came in at 172 on the minute chart here, but this is it's a different beast, man. It's a game changer in the way that this was done. I know that people are looking at it going, well, the revenue model and the this and the that, and they're hand wringing over the float and like all that kind of stuff. Man, I everybody in the world is looking at SpaceX and this IPO launch, and everyone in the world understands who Elon is and the type of companies that he builds. So wait and see. I mean, look at the buyback even off of 166 and a half, 166.70. Like just beautiful stuff. I'm excited to watch this play out. I'm going to pay attention, even closer attention 3 to 6 months from now. And by the way, anybody who knows the unlock schedule, you know why. So, but I think this is going to I think this is going to be a game changer for markets in general going forward, David. Like for real. Like there's some people that are trying to poo-poo it, and I think that this is going to be an absolute game changer for markets for the very long term. If for nothing
I'm
else, the
looking
next
right
couple
now.
of
Like I
years.
am literally looking. This is man. And I think honestly at the end, who the fuck are you? What the fuck is this? I think fucking people are weird. Am I laughing? Yo, you said something just now. People should be watching, correct?
Yeah, the entire time.
And I specifically think crypto should be watching. I'm not saying get out of your crypto positions. That's not what I'm saying. I think there are a lot of people that do have some sort of liquidity on them. And I think my words that I've stated multiple times on multiple platforms about being diversified in everything, not in crypto, but in everything besides crypto, real estate, whatever. You've heard me talk about it, right? You've been on those shows. I
Yeah.
think you should start looking into the traditional markets. I'm not saying buy the tops. I'm just saying I think you should start looking into the traditional markets and stop chasing the shit coins that are coming off of Pump.Fund and maybe just maybe put a few dollars into some of these things that are coming out. Listen, it's okay to make a 1x and a 2x. I think a lot of people are just chasing this 100x and they're trying to look for the shortcut and hit a home run rather than take the single.
You know, most
That-
people in crypto don't realize they don't understand options. They don't understand leverage in traditional markets at all. They don't understand options. You're getting 100 shares per contract, right? That's leverage right there. You want a 100x. If you get a 10x and you've got 100 shares of that, you essentially bought the equivalent of one share and levered it up 100. You're at 100x. You're at 1000x the more that you put down, right? You know, so when people are like, "Oh, you're in traditional markets and you're only making a 2 and 5%." I'm sorry, if you're on the options side, you're up massively. And then there's a million different strategies that you can play with options if you understand the Greeks, where you can hedge against positions, you can bracket ranges, you can do all kinds of really awesome stuff that we don't have robust liquidity for in the crypto markets. Everybody's like, well, the perps, the perps, the perps. I can 100x, I can 1000x, I can do whatever over here. Guess what? You can get leverage in traditional markets and it's easier than ever, especially now that the pattern day trader rules have been lifted. So
I like how you're instilling that. You keep saying that, and that's a good thing. But could
a
be
lot
a
of people are
bad
going to get
thing.
wrecked. They're going to get
Yeah,
wrecked, bro.
yeah. I had to
People are
hold
going to
back.
get wrecked.
You know, somebody called me today, or no, somebody asked me a few days ago. I called them. They were like, "Dave, do I go into this?" And I'm like, I'm not giving out financial advice. You know, like you can never get. You know what I'm talking about, Landy. Like you just,
Yes.
especially when friends and family ask you, it's just like, bro, I don't want to tell you something, and then like, I could tell you to stay out, and this shit goes to $400. You're gonna be mad at me, right?
Yeah. But then they'll buy $400 and when it's back at 150,
Correct.
they're going to be crying.
So you know what I said? I say this: if you want, you go. If you feel strongly about it, you go in. Like for me, like this is why Landy. This is why I love DCA. So if I buy at 165, right? If it goes to 200, take the 165 away. Let's say I don't do nothing right now, and it goes to $200, and I buy at $200. It goes up to 250. I buy at 250. And then all of a sudden it goes down to 125. And I buy at 125. It will average out.
Yeah.
It'll average out. So like to me, like is that not the best answer? Like I sit back and like, is DCA not the best answer? It's the most conservative approach, but I think it's the best approach.
Look, it is, and you got to give it time, right? Would you rather jump in and take the high risk of trying to enter and then exit, and then also pay short-term cap gains taxes on it if you do? Or would you rather wait for things to run up and then the larger corrections start to hit and then gauge where you would like to get in and how far it is down from its highs and that kind of stuff? This is a different beast in my opinion in terms of IPOs. I don't think it's gonna. I could be completely wrong. I know that we're going to see a larger correction in it once it does finally top out, but we're probably looking at weeks at this point, right? You know, with near-term corrections in between on dailies and stuff. But
Yeah.
reality is, like, there could be a $400 or $500 SpaceX before it actually runs down, and people will get pissed, like, "Oh, you just told me to sit on my hands." Well, guess what? Make your own decisions, but if you think that you wanna jump in and you wanna take the risk, then go and take the risk. Anybody who's been doing this for a very long time in traditional markets will tell you, 1, we're gonna get options early, by the way, and
Yeah.
that's gonna open on Tuesday. That's kind of unprecedented. We're gonna have early inclusion into people's portfolios within 15 days. We're gonna have, unlocks of shares very shortly thereafter, the initial unlocks of 20% and possibly, if we're up 30% for 5 days or more, we're gonna see an extra 10% unlock, and then it's 7% unlocks, in a cadence, at 75 and so on and so forth, from there until we get a 28% unlock after Q3 earnings is reported, right? So, this is a wait and see, um, and if you feel like it ran away from you, then you sit there and you wait for it to come back to you, right? And I honestly I say in this case, you just have to be very careful. You have to know to watch it and then try to make sure that you have a plan. It may not correct the 70 to, the 60 to 80% that we see a lot of IPOs go through because look, everybody wants exposure to this. And if you look at Tesla itself just as a model, I was bringing this up because I was a fairly early Tesla investor, and just looking at it on the monthly here, because we got to go back many years now. Um, if you go all the way back in history, you had the big run up on the monthly in June of 2010, the big sell off, and we had a new low. So we had a high of $2 and a low of $1. Right? That's a massive, by the way, that's a massive sell-off. Um, we had a 50% sell-off. That was Tesla. But guess what? If you weren't paying attention, you missed the 143% gain just a little while later. And remember, all the way through 13 into 13 into the Q1 to Q2 area, you got this higher lows all the way and then the explosion upwards. So I'm giving it 3 months to 6 months before I really start picking up shares in earnest on the open market.
Yeah.
So, and if anything changes and I see opportunity before then, I will adjust as the market adjusts. But look, track record, we know what it is. It's a beautiful thing. And also Tesla and a big consolidation on longer term timeframes. Can you imagine when this eventually, and by the way, big uptrend here, but a compression at the highs, if this doesn't go down and it chooses the upside or holds this downside around 200, the 200 area on the low side, or even the structure all the way down to 130 to 150 area, 160. Can you imagine Tesla just rocketing to a grand? And right, we've had all kinds of
I
splits too.
you want to hear me here? I want to see Tesla go backwards. I'm actually praying for it.
Brother,
Selfishly.
I could see this. I could see this, on the low side, if it starts to break below 200, which is this lower area here, then I could see it breaking back to the lows. Then you're looking 150, maybe under. But realistically, if it holds anywhere above the $200 range, this is destined for much, much higher.
No,
And just
that's what I'm
think
saying.
about the inclusion.
Give me 215.
Yeah.
Like I'm good with that, and then send it to Valhalla.
Send it, merge the companies together, SpaceX and
No,
Tesla.
because I know that's what what's gonna happen.
I believe so.
They're gonna merge. They're gonna merge. 100%. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
But I want to have like this is what I've been saying. Like, what have I not been saying on this on the show with you this entire time? Like if I'm anybody right now, I'm going into Tesla.
Yep.
Like you want to do like you want to play this smart. Look, you could do two things. One, you could do nothing. You could do nothing. That
Mhm.
sometimes is the best option is to do nothing.
Yeah.
Because like right now, people have FOMO for SpaceX, right? Like we're
Yeah.
talking about SpaceX right now on the show. So you know that it's a big fucking topic.
Yep.
So the best thing you can do is do nothing. We especially if you're in crypto, I'll give you examples. How many things go up and then they go right down? I'm not gonna compare SpaceX to anything in crypto. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. I would
I'm just
hesitate to do
giving you
that.
a picture of what happens or what could happen. Best thing some of you guys can do is just sit back, wait 3 to 4 weeks.
Hit my 175.
It hit 175 just now.
Yeah, it ticked probably 176, 175.50 on this most recent high.
It's probably gonna go to. Yeah, I probably am going to be in agreement with you. It's probably gonna go to 200, and I'm hoping that people start taking profit.
You know, I hope that there's a lot of people making money right now on the way
The
up
janitor
and enjoy the
retired.
ride.
The janitor retired.
But I'm sitting on my hands and waiting. Like I said, I there's people who feel like they can't afford to wait. But I think that even if I don't believe in getting into FOMO.
Landy,
Um,
even if I have to buy this at $500 per share, I'm okay with it.
yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's time duration. For risk, it's not about the company. As a trader, I'm staying out of it right now. If this short side opens up and I see opportunity there, 180 just came on the board as a potential target.
180.
Um, yeah, but not yet. As a target, as a next kind of upside area that I'd be watching. Um, but I have no problem sitting on my hands and waiting for this to present opportunity in some sort of a much larger, longer time frame correction on the weeklies and maybe even the monthlies. But as it stands right now, just let it ride. Watch what it does. You're probably going to have exposure to it anyway if you have any kind of portfolio in the markets. So I
Bro,
wouldn't
I'm gonna
worry
tell
about
you
it
right
too
now,
much.
there are a lot of people not getting apparently the allocations for SpaceX.
Well, you're not going to get deliverables. Well, I mean, you're talking about. Um, I mean, look,
So like Bybit, right? For instance,
no, no,
announces due to X stocks inability to deliver the underlying asset, no
yeah.
SpaceX allocations were received. As a result, subscription users will not receive SpaceX allocations.
Yeah, none of them will. I don't know why people thought that they would right off the bat. You need these unlocks to happen. They need to get the shares delivered. They're not going to get the shares delivered. We already knew this, but yet people are still going and betting on crypto side tickers that have no deliverables.
I'm
It's been known for a couple
But you
weeks.
know what? A lot, forget about even that on the crypto side. There have been people that like ordered like 2,000 shares and only got 65. Like
Well,
I've
because
been
of the unlocks, yeah.
correct. I've been seeing this like on the timeline, people screenshotting it.
I think they just don't understand how any of it works,
No,
and
they don't.
especially if they come from the crypto side. And there's people on the crypto side that have been taking advantage. I'm not saying the specific ones that we just talked about for a second ago, but there's a lot of people taking advantage of those in crypto who know very little, and they're making a ticker, they're calling it that. There's no promise of underlying shares, but they're acting like they're going to. Um, so basically, they're being opportunist and kind of scamming people out of liquidity. But look, one of the things, and I know we've got somebody coming on here in just a moment, so I'm gonna wrap this thought up. But one of the things that I think Elon is building is it's the company of companies with SpaceX. So I think Tesla is going to be in there, and then you have end to end because SpaceX will be exposed to every different industry. You mentioned the boring company, you've got energy, you've got data centers, you've got space, you've got robotics, you've got very tech sector focused, right? But it's also the underlying play being energy, and energy is everything, right? And then you've got, more and more and more will be added to this company as they diversify just the company's holdings and the associated businesses that they are attached to. So you'll have this company of companies that covers all of these different sectors, which actually lowers the risk of a SpaceX over the long term because it's the business of businesses is so diversified in and of itself. And
Yeah.
I think that he's going to keep doing that. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful way to build. I'm bullish on the very long term. I'm going to watch how the short term goes. But for anybody that's looking and getting FOMO, you can afford to wait. And that can save you a lot of heartache, especially if you're looking to just FOMO. You can afford to wait and watch.
We'll be back with Landy later on 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rob Nelson will be on. Rob Nelson called me yesterday, said that he is excited to have a conversation and he would like me to participate also within the conversation and not just moderate because he has a lot of thoughts on Iran and what's happening. Okay,
Oh, I
this
bet
guy
he does.
he is stuck on Iran, bro. He is
Yeah.
absolutely.
I got him his
Jesus.
Ayatollah outfit. So
Send it to him.
Rob's gonna become their new supreme leader.
Got him the G Media edition. Anyway.
Thanks, David.
We'll be right back after this break. Landy, we'll see you at 2.
Yes, sir.
At 1:15 p.m., we are on in the next 2 minutes. Tristan Thompson will be on here, and we'll be talking about crypto. We'll talk about some sports. We'll ask him about the Knicks and what he thinks. He was a part of a team that came back 3-1, so it'll be interesting to go ahead and talk to him. Landy, I'll see you at 2.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
We've been talking about the SPACEX IPO. I have people calling me and they're watching the show, yet you're asking me whether or not you should go in. Have you not watched the last hour of us breaking down the chart? I'm changing my phone number. That's the wrong thing. I gave out my number to the wrong people. That's what I did. Gave out my number to the wrong people. All right, we have a special guest that's coming on here today. I have some questions for him. Okay, I have some just want to have a conversation. You know how we do it here. When Sailor comes on, Hayes, whoever, just having a convo. But I want to bring him on. Let me introduce him. Tristan, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I am glad to have you on, man. It's been what? I don't know, 2-3 months I've been trying to get you on. And you know what? Perfect timing, because before I ask you about tech, AI, let's talk about something that you know very well, and that is basketball, the NBA.
I can tell by your accent. I already knew exactly where you're going with this. You had a New York accent. I already knew. The reason why it took us this long at first, when we were communicating, first of all, I thought it was like a catfish or someone pretending to be you and your team. So I wasn't sure if it was legit or not, but I'm glad we got it to work out.
Well, I'm happy that you're here. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're an expert when it comes to basketball. You had a phenomenal career. You came back. Okay, you were a part of a squad that came back from a 3-1 deficit. When you get the last game, okay, I'm shaking because I'm still shaking from the comeback. Okay. When you were watching that game, what were your thoughts from first quarter to OG tipping that ball in?
Man, David, let me tell you something. You know they did this to the Cavs, game 1 in the Garden. Last series, this to the Cavs. The Cavs were up 20-plus points. Knicks come back and win. So when I see what's happening in the second half, the Spurs were taking threes that they were making the first half, they weren't making them second half. And I think that showed the lack of maturity. I think that showed the one flaw that they had. But I mean, listen, the heart of a champion is never say die. Um, Jalen Brunson embodies the New York mentality where you never quit, never give up. And I think that energy has seeped into everyone else. And especially OG, who was originally a Toronto Raptors, come from Toronto. So you guys finagled Desai and Bobby Webster on that deal. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It worked out for you guys. Witnessing that, I said, oh my God, I can't believe this happened in the Garden. They said the floor was shaking, rumbling. So I mean, New York's on fire right now. It's good for basketball. It's good for the business of basketball. Let's say that.
If you're on the Spurs, was your heart taken out with this game? Because like you were leading the entire time. I said that when Wemby went ahead and committed that flagrant foul, they had to call it, right? Because it was spotlighted on him. When he committed that foul, he looked like he started like his game was off after that. I felt like he started playing more perimeter. He wasn't as active as he was because I don't know if like a lot of people haven't been talking about this, but that elbow, he changed. Like he was completely different. He wasn't doing this anymore. He was playing passive. By the way, I hated when he did that. I was like, oh my God. I was about to switch the channel to curling. I was like, yo, I'm gonna watch some curling right now. I
Yeah,
can't watch this. I don't know what's happening here.
yeah. I think you hit the net, right? I think he said it was during the more jump shots. I think he feared, and I think the way the Spurs played was like play not to lose. We're supposed to play to win the game.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the way they were playing Wimby. Wimby's the head of the snake, right? If you start shooting jumpers and getting cute with it, your teammates are gonna follow suit. So for him, with the advantage, he should be always in the paint. He should be living in the paint. And from the great Knicks big men, the Pat Ewing, Bernard King, it goes down, grandmama. You got to own that paint, especially in the playoffs and in the finals where stuff like that matters. Every possession counts. And I think for the Spurs, they're so young where I think if it was a veteran team, I think you would take the heart out of them. But I think because they're so young and green and still like they just don't know the world yet and don't understand like pressure and being down 3-1. I think they should have come in one game at a time and OG Pop, El Jefe, better come down to that locker room and spit some knowledge to them young pups.
You were down 3-1. You had LeBron, you had Kyrie,
Mhm.
and you had an amazing series. You were 10-10. You averaged 10-10 that series. So is it different though? Because you had LeBron and Kyrie. Like these are players that respectfully, I'm not disrespecting the San Antonio Spurs. Anybody who plays in the NBA is great, right? Like no average person can step on the court and hoop it up with anybody in the NBA. That's how I feel. You got the fans in, yeah, I can step it, whatever. But Kyrie and LeBron are different. Like that's a different mindset. Would you agree? Like I can understand why you guys came back and won. I can't see it on the Spurs. Like I get what you're saying. They're young, so they don't really care, right? They came into the Garden and took one. But I don't know, like 3 in a row? Watch me say that it happens, but I'm just saying the way you guys were loaded. Like you guys were loaded up and you had you had people with that mentality and the skill set that was, I mean, the skill set you guys had ridiculous. I mean, you can tell me I'm wrong. You're the expert.
No, I think you're right. I think it's with LeBron and Kyrie, it was a legacy moment, right? And I think it's great that we're on the show today because I think there's a lot of legacy moments that are going on today in the world, right? So I think for like you said, I think when you look at that Cavs team that we had, this was LeBron's part of LeBron's legacy. I think this championship is what took him to the next level in terms of the GOAT. So he had more on the line than anyone could ever have on the line down 3-1, even compared to the Spurs team, right? At the end of the day, the Spurs team is super young. And like what most people say, hey, if Wemby falls short, he'll be back. He'll be in another finals at some point. For LeBron, being down 3-1, back in Cleveland, was in Miami. This is one of these legacy moments where, like, when you read that chapter book, you got to come back and make it happen. Kyrie, you got to make it happen, number one pick. So it's definitely two different in terms of what's at stake is totally different. But just me selfishly, because I'm the only team that came back from 3-1, I want to be the only team that ever came back from 3-1 for a long time. So as long as I'm on planet Earth, I would like to be the only person that came back from 3-1.
That was amazing, by the way. You guys are super focused. Who do you think wins? Before we go into your life after the NBA, who wins? Who do you have?
I'll be honest with you, I had the Spurs winning this series. But if I'm a betting man, and I don't go to casino much, but if I do go and the chips on the table right now, you got to take the Knicks. And I say Knicks in 6. I think the Spurs got too much pride. They'll take care of business at home, back against the wall. They owe it to their fans because they lost the first 2 games at home. They'll win game 5, and then the Knicks will close down in game 6. And what's a better way for the NBA to close a chapter on the season? The business is based in New York. New York hasn't won in 53 years. You win at the Garden. Outside goes nuts. I can't wait to see the videos of them going crazy. The fans outside. I love it. I love it. So I Knicks in 6 at the crib.
Last question, because look, I got one of the dominant forces here on the show. What do you think about the refereeing? Because I feel like I've watched the Knicks and I'm like, okay, I get it. I've seen some of these calls, but you gotta play. Like, you gotta play through this. You can't stop and continue to bitch about the calls. We see it. Like, as fans, we see what's happening. We can be biased too when we see certain things, but you gotta keep playing. What are your thoughts on the officiating? I don't know if you're gonna get fined for this. You retired.
No. No, what I'll say is this. No, you're right. I think it's the finals. It's the last 2 teams standing. It's like we're in the Roman Coliseum. Hold that whistle. I don't want a referee to determine the game. You got to play through it. You got to play through calls. You got to be tough. You got to be physical. That's what we want to see in the finals. We don't want to see a game being won at the free throw line and teams being in the bonus and getting free throws to win the game. We don't want to see that. So, if you're going to go up strong, go up prepared to get fouled and finish through contact. And that's what we said in our locker room. We're we're going to play on the road. We don't expect the call. It's going to be on the court. It's going to be 8-on-5. And in that arena in Oracle, it's going to be 16,000 against us. So go up there. Don't expect no calls. And I love the refereeing right now. Bite your whistle. I don't want to hear no calls. This is a man's game right now. All the boys are in Cancun and in San Tropez and Mykonos. The men are the ones that are still playing.
Everybody wanted to experience the 90s. Well, you're getting it. So stop crying about it. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I agree.
Who was the person who told you to get into crypto? Are you mad at them? Or are you happy with your... And I say that I'm being facetious because, you know how crypto is. It could be great and then it could be toxic. But how did you get in? Who said
I got
you gotta check this out?
Yeah, no, I got in crypto about 2.5, 3 years ago. A buddy of mine. It actually started with him buying a meme coin. A friend of ours, when we were doing event planning, and we did something called NFT NYC with Dolce and Gabbana. And that's kind of the first welcoming to blockchain technology in the crypto world. Never really got into it. Traditional art guy, looking back behind me, this is Muhammad Ali. This is an art piece on the wall. It's not
I was
an
about to
NFT.
say so. I was about to say something about that. I was like, yo, let me. I'll say it at the end of the show. That's a dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, so I've always been about the traditional art pieces. So I never really got into NFTs. But then after our same buddy that kind of brought us that opportunity said, open a Phantom wallet, take $1,000 and go buy this token, go buy this meme called Book a Meme. So my buddy goes to dinner with his wife, comes back home, he's up 50,000. So he's losing. He's like, how's this possible? He's calling me saying I'm up 50 grand. I'm like, how? I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, what kind of scam did you just pull, man? What you up to? So no, then he's like, no, for real. Then he starts going on crypto Twitter, and he's not sleeping for 3 days. He's got bags under his eyes. He's got boogers. His breath is probably hot. So I'm like, okay, man, I got to understand this because if a guy that I'm close with is turning $1,000 to 50 grand, I got to understand what's going on. I've always been the guy that loves finance, loves money, understands it because we come from especially myself, I come from an area where money's hard to get. It's hard to make money. It's hard to put yourself in a position of power to generate wealth. So seeing that, and I understand there's another vertical in this world in the finance industry that's not being talked about in America, regardless of who's in the administration or not, is an opportunity. So for me, it's like, let me dive in and understand this more. And like, anyone in crypto, once you get down that spiral and get in that black hole, you become obsessed and you love it because it's so in such a rookie stage. The best way is it's like a rookie in the NBA, especially in America. But you realize when you're in Asia and Europe, how much, adoption, how much further ahead. But for me, it's like it's an opportunity to be one of the early people that have a face that people know, that people can recognize, that don't have to live behind an NFT, that actually could talk about what the future of finance should look like on North American soil. So that's how I got in.
Are you big on AI right now?
Of course, definitely bullish on AI. But I think for me, I'm bullish on AI, but I'm actually more bullish on humans right now. And and
Explain
and
that.
here and here's why. I think AI is done, and I remember being at Hill and Valley, and Sham, the CTO or CEO of Palantir. I don't, I want to misinterpret the guy's label because he's such a great individual. But he said, we should use AI as a vertical to help enhance our mind, our capability, our creativity as human beings, not a crutch, something to lean on, right? Because I think that's the whole stereotype right now. If you ask your aunts and uncles that are not in the tech world, right? They don't like AI. They're like, it's going to take my job. It's going to do this, do that. And what I say to people, I say, hey, no, use this as an opportunity for you to become better at what you're doing, or even more so, be able to use AI as a great assistant or a great Robin, so you could be Batman to attack bigger tasks. The great example I use is the farming industry. Using AI robotics, I think that can help the farming industry a lot in terms of less labor and manpower on the fields, and using more robotics and drones and robots for that to run that labor side. And now for us, the farmers as a business owner, pay attention to how to make that side of the business better. Because that's the one thing. If you talk to farmers, the one area they're like, you know, the margins are not great, right? They're not making as much as they would love to, right? But I feel like using AI technology, that can help you focus on the business aspect and be better at it. So that's why I'm always saying for humans, I'm longing humans right now to force us to become more open your brain. The same way where, when they built the pyramids, people are like, it was aliens. I'm like, no, it's just humans. But back then, humans didn't have crutches. We had to depend on each other to really open our mind, right? Create this legacy for ourselves. So that's what I'm really bullish on right now. But obviously AI has been a great tool for all of us. It's made all of our lives easier, but we don't depend on it.
I agree with that. I use it as a personal assistant. I didn't make
Mm.
AI my personality. I think a lot of people try to do that. They make AI their personality. They get frustrated. They're out. For those who
Mhm.
stay in, I think obviously they'll see success. I think AI has been a phenomenal tool. Listen, some people say, "Hey, we're coming closer." The Terminator might have been a documentary and not a movie. With the way that with the way AI is moving. Um, you made a comment that you're close with Eric Trump. How's that relationship been?
No, I mean Eric's been great. I think what Eric's been doing, even before, him getting into crypto, for operating the family's business from the real estate side, and obviously now getting into crypto, and him understanding what the future of finance is. And I think for him being able to travel the world representing his family and doing what he has to do, he understood the importance of having crypto and Bitcoin be a foundation to part of American finance is a huge thing, because at the end of the day, it's a three-headed monster race, right? It's the U.S., China, and Russia. And whoever controls the most will have the power, right? To be the king, you have to control the most, and you have to have your hands in everything and be the best at it. And they understood, and Eric understood an area where America is a little bit behind compared to China and Russia, and that was blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin. So, I love what he's doing. I'm being a big advocate of Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoin maxi as well. So, I love it.
I want to ask, did crypto? Well, you already had a huge network. I'm sure you had a huge network way before you got yourself into crypto, or maybe even investing. Did crypto open up more doors when you got into it, did it open up way more doors, and ones I would say that were more fruitful than the ones that you had previously?
I would say that I think crypto's opened up doors for me even more globally, right? I've met people just from basketball's blessed me so much to be traveling internationally, meet a lot of great people. You know, basketball's done that. But I think for crypto and putting myself in the space, it's opened up doors to people that are more, Wall Street based, more Silicon Valley based, more in on the other regions of the world that don't per se are not so much involved in consumable brands, sporting brands, entertainment. It's another vertical, but I love that because that's where I sit at the intersection and hold that power and key where I can plug and play different parts of the world to bring them together. Because if you're trying to realize now, think about back in the early 2000s, late 90s, most founders, think about Bill Gates, think about Microsoft, all these guys, Michael Dell. When they started their companies, they were always behind the door. You never see them. You never see them do interviews. And look at now, everyone. And if you look, you might not agree or not, but Michael Saylor might have been one of the first guys that said, "You know what? I believe in something. I'm gonna make myself my own uh, influencer or forward-facing guy." And now you realize for every company, if you want your company to be $1 trillion and come out with big IPOs, you got to be the face of the franchise. You got to be like how the athletes are, right? And you got to put yourself out there. So now you see every owner, they all want to put their face out there now and all want to do conferences and speak. But before they weren't doing, which shows you how much media, image and likeness, culture relevancy plays a part in the valuation of your company. And that's something that my world natively does. And now people, it's almost like you say, basketballs want to be rappers, rappers want to be basketball players. Now it's like the CEOs want to be influencers and influencers want to be CEOs. So we're on to something. And for me, understanding that and understanding where the world's going, it's like, how can I insert myself and be a valuable asset? Just like with the Cavaliers, be a valuable asset where it's hard to replace you.
Have you gone back? Obviously, you retired from the NBA, but have you gone back and have you, I guess, talked to some of the current NBA players and maybe even former NBA players about, um, you know, I guess teaching them about financial literacy? I mean, not just NBA players lack it, but I think the entire world lacks it just because of I always blame this. The education system has failed us. The Department of Education, especially in the United States, has failed people because people get out of school, they have no clue how to handle their own finances. So, have you gone back and because you have all this knowledge and you could be super instrumental. Have you gone back and try to go ahead and spit some knowledge to these cats that are coming up with, especially with these huge contracts and all?
Yeah, I think, listen, the part of the NBA and what I love about the NBA is a big fraternity, but for me, it's bigger than just paying it forward to the NBA. I think it's paying it forward to everyone that's younger than me. Because at the end of the day, most, especially minorities, right? We come from a world where we don't get the financial literacy or education. And when we do start making money, finance is the only area and sector where you have to trust a complete stranger to manage what you've worked hard for. And when you think about that, that doesn't make no sense. When you want to decide that suit you put on, that nice navy suit you put on with the white, you pick that out. The white tee that I put on, Ralph Lauren, I decided this, right? But the finance is where we trust complete stranger. And for me, it's like, how can I pay for it? Because I don't want to see these young guys. At the end of the day, when you saw the 30 for 30 and it says broke and how they said athletes go through financial trouble and struggle once they retire. I want to help kids understand, or young men, sorry, and young women, how to manage your finance, what questions to ask. If you're giving up a power of attorney for someone to do your bill pay, you still need access to see that. You should be getting a notification on your phone whenever that card gets swiped, right? Like you need to see and have color on everything because, yes, I totally get it. You should focus on your craft and be the best you can be at. But it's also our due diligence as the OGs, as the ones that pay it forward, to make sure we open these young great athletes or great humans, because I'm not only just giving free game to just athletes. I'm telling my entertainer friends, I'm telling my young entrepreneurs, because I've had guys in crypto. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, Tristan, I've made $10 million trading meme coins and leverage trading. What do I do with this money?" how do I save it? What do I put in where I can keep, make make money on top of money? He doesn't want to just sit in staking protocols on chain. He wants to get off chain and take some of his capital and put it in smart investments. And that's what I'm here to do, because it's my duty to pay it forward, because, at the end of the day, my mom always told me, when God blesses you, you got to bless others.
Tristan, what are you working on now that you feel is going to absolutely dominate, whether it's finance or outside of finance, in the next 3 to 5 years? Or what are you a part of right now that you think is going to do extremely well that we might not know about?
Yeah, so for myself, I've had the opportunity to help a lot of companies, and I've been doing a lot of investing, but also advising and helping companies. And obviously, one area that is definitely going to be a need is, as long as we're using these electrical devices and these phones, we're going to need a storage for them, which is basically data centers. So I've definitely had my hands in data center opportunities and projects, but more so from the infrastructure side. I think the one thing about data centers that everyone's talking about, especially these small towns that are combating and don't want the data centers in their cities, because the water usage and the electrical waste, right? And there's a company that I'm extremely bullish and part of, that they have found a resolution using micro LED lighting channels to cut down those areas, whether it's water, electricity, which is great for our environment, right? So for me, anything that I'm part of, it's all from the infrastructure level, because I truly believe in, Jensen Wong said it's at Milken when I was there. He said it's like a 5-layer cake, and everyone wants to get to the top of the cake, but the base layer is the most important. Those that understand the base layer and understand that where we need to focus on, even like energy, the amount of things we have power right now, we need to figure out ways to create renewable energy, be able to package it, reuse it. Because if you know in your house, 60% of the energy that your house uses goes to waste. That is going to become an issue. And I don't know, I read a lot, and there's a university in Bangladesh that their universities could not operate because they didn't have enough power. They didn't have enough electrical power to run the universities. So that's something that people might overlook, but energy is a big thing right now that might get overlooked. That's a very important thing for our society to keep progressing.
Tristan, it is finally a pleasure to have you on the show. Hopefully I can get you back on here next month, because I just would love to hear you talk about how the Knicks won and how blown away you are by big body Brunson, right? Hopefully he makes
Yes.
the last shot. By the way, before you go, who do you think wins the MVP? If you had to throw it up there, Finals MVP, who do you think takes that on?
I'm gonna give you everything right now. You're gonna love this. As a New York, you guys are gonna love this. New York wins. New York wins in 6.
Okay.
Big Body Brunson wins Finals MVP.
Okay.
And I'll say this, and you can put on record: if Jalen Brunson wins an NBA championship with the New York Knicks, he could arguably be the best New York athlete to ever play in that city.
Wow.
I know Derek Jeter's number one, and Derek Jeter, I love Derek Jeter. Much respect. I respect the OGs. He's a champion. Right now he's number one. He sits at the head of the helm. He's got the crown. But I'm telling you this right now: Jalen Brunson is knocking on that door if he wins. Just because he wins this one, it could put him up there. And unfortunately, you know what times are? As people get older, people forget the OGs. So 10 years from now, they might say Jalen Brunson's the best athlete ever graced New York.
Do you think this is just a great run by a team, or do you think the Knicks are a good team that will be able to compete for a long time, or this is just a one-off good run, an amazing run by a team that just caught that wind of like being healthy and lucky, getting the right bounces all at the same time? Are the Knicks that team, or could they possibly win another championship, or at least get back to the finals next year to then cement and say like they were a good team? Because like right now, people are more so leaning towards this is just like a magical Cinderella run by a team.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts?
I would say this. I wouldn't say the Knicks are not on a magical run. Like, they're not like a Cinderella story. They're not the Butler back in NCAA. They're not the George Mason. I'll say the Knicks are a good team. You got to give them flowers. But what I will say is this: Of course, the Celtics, Jason Tatum was gone for a year, wasn't himself. Tyrese Halliburton, he was gone. I think the East is going to be competitive. I would say this. The Knicks win. They deserve their flowers. I would say they should be a competitor in the East next year. And I think worst case scenario, they should make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Are they a dynasty team? I don't know. I don't technically see it because it's hard to run back multiple championships, Like you have to have like Steph Curry, he won one, then lost, and then got KD and won two. That's adding generational talent. So the roster they have right now, they can win one for sure. They'll win this one. But can the same roster repeat? That's a different question. That's a different story. I think there will always be a competitive franchise and competitive team, but I don't know if they're right now with the roster a dynasty off the rip.
I want to let you go just one more, and I
Yeah.
apologize, Tristan.
You're good. No worries.
Jalen Brunson, he's all these sports channels are out there. I remember when the Knicks signed him, and people were like, "What is going on?" Stephen A. Smith, all of them. Okay, everybody who's at the Garden now was like, "Oh my God!" Right? This is the guy that you cleared cap for. Like, no, they must be bringing somebody else in. You can't win with this with a small guy, right? Do you think if the Knicks do win, and Jalen obviously has done everything possible to put them in this position, do you think maybe he brings back the small guards? Like small guards are finally accepted as, hey, you get a small guard, that person could lead us to a championship just the same way that Brunson did. Because I remember AI took the 76ers to the finals. They didn't win, but he carried them. He didn't have, AI didn't have the best team going to the finals. But
yeah, they was not good. They were
it was just him and I don't know who else. I mean,
Aaron McKee and Theo Ratliff. I mean, it was a tough. Yeah, I mean, I love those guys, but it was a tough one. Yeah, I would say this. I would say for Jalen Brunson, I think he's like AI. He's like Isaiah Thomas. Those are generational little guys, small guards.
Wow.
I
You
don't
put him in
think.
that category? You put
Yeah,
him in that category?
because think about it. Think of all the team. It's very hard in this league for your best player to win a championship, be your smallest guy. Those three guys were exceptions to the rules. AI didn't win, but he got to the finals. But the two exceptions to the rules are Isaiah Thomas, that played for Detroit, and Jalen Brunson. But the reason why, and I don't want to take away from his shine, he deserves it. He's the anchor. He's the head of the snake. But Leon Rose and their staff has done a good job putting size around him. If you look at their starting lineup, you got Brunson at 6'1", 6'2", but you got OG at 6'8", 6'9", Mikal Bridges at 6'7", 6'8". You got Josh Hart at 6'5". You got Cat at 7 foot. Like you have Deuce McBride. He might be 6'3", but he's stocky. He's big, plays bigger than his size. Landry Shamet, 6'5". They've surrounded him with all guys that have size but can actually play. It's different between them and the Portland Trailblazers when they had Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. He was surrounded around tall guys that weren't as skilled. He's around tall guys that can do multiple things, that can score and defend. So when you're out there and people are trying to pick on him, there's 4 big guys behind him that have size that can switch out, kick him out. That's the reason why they're having this success. If you're gonna have your best player be a small guy, you gotta have some trees around him that can actually play, and not just be some trees that are the Tin Man.
You know all about that, and you're a big major part of coming back from a 3-1 deficit. So shout out to you, part of an amazing team. And shout out to you for being a part of the crypto industry. That is dope. Listen, it's taxing. I've been here for a long time. It's a taxing industry, but you know what? We're still young and we're growing, and there's so much opportunity here. It's cool to see people like you and others that are coming from the outside world in here. You only help us level up. Like we've done enough to build. You talked about foundation. Like we've done enough here to build a foundation. Now it's cool to see everybody come in here and use your networks to continue to build this forward. So appreciate you, and appreciate you taking time to even stay in on a little bit more here to just answer some questions. We got a lot of NBA fans here for a watch, and so that was cool. Thank you so much,
No, of
Tristan.
course.
I appreciate it. And I hope I can get you back on the show. We can talk about some art. And I'll be at NFT NYC. I'm always there, so we can go ahead and,
Yeah.
link
No,
up.
thank you for having me on. And what I'll say about the people in crypto, because I'm still in crypto, I haven't exited out. Always remember with Warren Buffett, because I know crypto's the one area, and I'm sorry if I'm going over. I know you might have somebody else, but they're gonna have to wait. So let me say this. I'll say this.
I'm being cautious of your time.
Yeah. So no, that's what I want to say. Of course, crypto is not where we want it to be right now. But Warren Buffett said, when there's blood on the streets, it's time to eat. And at the end of the day, in crypto, these institutions learn from the '08 crash. They are not going to allocate billions of dollars to add an asset on their balance sheet if they don't truly believe they can win. They're in the business of, these institutions are in the business of business, in the business of winning.
Yeah.
So no different than why everybody was so bullish on SpaceX because of Michael Saylor. I'm not Michael Saylor, my bad. Elon Musk. They bet on the founder. Same thing with Bitcoin. I'm betting on institutions, and that's why I haven't left. So that's what I gotta say. That was my mic drop. I don't know if it was good enough. That's my mic drop. I'm not leaving. I got Bitcoin. I got hype. I got Zcash. I'm
Let's
long in
go.
all of them.
Hype. Let's go. And you said
Yes.
something that you already dropped the mic here. You said something that's so true, and I think I'm gonna have a deeper conversation about this. You have a lot of owners and innovators that now understand they need to be front facing. Elon being the example. I mean, like, I think Elon, I mean, we can maybe agree on this.
He's the
Started this
best. So he's the best influencer on God's green earth.
crazy, right? Like, and now he owns X, so like it makes it even easier, like to go ahead and get his message across. And I mean, he deserves the first trillionaire. He deserves this. I mean, there are haters out here, but I'm sorry. When a guy is sleeping on the factory floor, he has to decide whether or not to keep SpaceX or Tesla, and chooses both. And he's broke, and he makes this kind of comeback. He deserves it. So,
I agree.
shout out to him. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you coming on and having this conversation. And hopefully you can come on here again onto the breakdown, and we can go ahead and chop it up.
No, I appreciate it, David. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, man. Keep doing the good work, man. I've been
Thank
watching,
you.
so keep going.
Appreciate you,
Keep
bro.
cooking. Yes, sir, bro.
That is Tristan Thompson. Oh man, legend, man, legend in the game. Shout out to him, because I wanted to talk a little NBA. Shout out to him. I wanted to talk about the NBA. I know his stats. Okay, I watched that series. Like listen, I watch sports. Nobody needs to write anything up for me. By the way, I did this entire interview with no screens. Nothing was working. Of course, nothing was going to work in my favor. Of course, nothing was going to work. Oh, fuck. Nothing was working. I was so pissed off. Nothing was working. I swear. Y'all probably saw me. I was like I wasn't like trying to not look at Tris. I was like, damn it. Tristan did well in that series. It was a major component for LeBron and Kyrie to make that comeback. Major. I think he did average 10-10. That's what he averaged. And he said you need a big body, right? Need a big body. Nice, and I mean that. It's nice to have somebody like Tristan here. And we need more of that. More people like him. There's a difference between my institutional talk and people like Tristan that come in. Tristan has a network. Tristan comes from the NBA. He knows people within the NBA. He can sit down and break down what is happening in crypto. You heard him say hype. Landy is like gooning off right now to what happened just now. Right, Landy? I'm sure you are in the... Oh my God, he said hype.
Look, Bitcoin hype. There was one other that he said that, I'm I'm trading, but no, like he knows what's going on. He's got his ear to the ground. He understands what's going on. He's invested in this stuff. He said, "Hey, buyer, you're buying it up at these levels. This is the perfect time to be here, right? Perfect time to be here."
Are you breaking up or am I breaking?
I don't know. Is it me? Let me listen.
He's a good guy. You can tell he's a nice dude. And more of that in the industry, more people that are able to get out there and explain our industry, because we need grassroots marketing, bottom line. But my monitors, by the way, were going off. I don't know, Landy, you probably noticed.
I saw you looking over like, what the hell is happening with my
Fucking
monitors
every
again?
monitor. I can't even find the monitor. At one point, I'm like, I'm Stevie Wondering the motherfucker. Like, this is, I can't see.
I remember when Tristan Thompson came into the NBA, because he was a hell of a rookie. Back in, is that 2012? Yeah. So
He found this groove that, like, then again, it's not that I just remember him when he was a part of, like, I'm just saying that obviously that 3-1 is what I wanted to talk about, being that the Spurs are now down 3-1 to the Knicks. He says Brunson might be the greatest sports player in New York history.
If they complete this,
that's going to get clipped up and that's going to be talked about.
Yep. It's just me or you that's having.
Am I breaking up or are you breaking up?
I'm looking at the actual stream to see if it's me or you.
I think it's you. But I wouldn't put it. Hold on, let me see. I think it's you, man. Let's see.
I'm looking at the stream side. I'm coming through clearly to X, and you're breaking up quite a bit.
I'm breaking up bad?
Yeah. It seems like you're good now. Well, at least that all this, if it is an issue on your side, at least it waited until after you did your interview with Tristan.
Yo, you know how bad it was? I had to I shut down all my Wi-Fi.
Man.
Like, I shut it down. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown, episode 727. We had Tristan Thompson on. We're gonna have more people on during this month. Thank God. Not in a bad way. It's just that everybody had to reschedule and shit. I feel like we have a monster schedule coming into September, bro. Like, it's crazy. But it was nice to have him on, and hopefully we'll have him on again just to maybe even wrap up the NBA Finals. But what I said, it's cool to have people like him and with those kind of platforms to talk about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. Let me separate it for you Bitcoin maxis. Bitcoin and also crypto. Do you feel better?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel better? Yo, he had me. I was laughing. You know why I started laughing?
Why is that?
Landy? Because now everything's working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Why would it?
It's like Rob Nelson prayed. But let me tell you something. I am a fucking professional. I am a pro. And even though I was looking around and all this shit, I am dialed in. That is what a professional does. He doesn't complain. Only after you can complain.
Yeah.
But during, I'm not saying, yo, I can't hear. No. At that point, I'm just like,
There was a
they should
moment where
video-
you sat back and you were just looking at your blank monitor in amazement. Like, really?
No,
Really?
I was actually looking at a black monitor just like this. I was just looking, and I was just like, yeah, I see us. You know what I was doing? I was picturing the interview.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of being a part of it, I was picturing the interview. How
That's
crazy!
funny.
I have the interview, and I'm picturing an interview. I remember that shit was happening when Sailor was on.
Yes.
In the beginning, it was happening. I was like, and I started to pray to God. I said, God, do me a favor. You can send my fucking show to 0, but just let me have this moment.
Let me have a view of what's actually happening here,
Let
please.
me see him. Pause.
Rob
This show is
is
sponsored by Midnight. Rob's in the back.
punching
Hold
the
on.
air right now.
Let me get ready for this. This is
I'm settled in. I'm settled in.
this man Rob prayed that all my monitors went out, all 3. Rob Nelson has a show on this network Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Mondays, well, last Monday, Landy joined him. And then Wednesday, or this Wednesday, I should say, or this Monday and Wednesday, me and Landy both joined his show. Now, I told Rob the Knicks game was going to come on at 8:30 p.m. He tried to take me into deep waters to try to keep me on until 9. So he started saying things that I was being a gentleman, and I agreed. When I really didn't know what the fuck was being said, he could have said, I need your credit card. I said, yep, I agree. Well, he's in the back right now. He's in the green room asking for us to. Now I'm thinking, shit. Okay, I'll be nice.
All right, Donald Trump.
Nelson, what the fuck?
All right, Donald Trump. Should I let you in? Should I make a deal? Let's make
Rob
a deal.
Nelson.
They want a deal more than I do.
Joined. Well, I guess it's me. I guess
Definitely
my
it's
shit's
on your
not
side.
working.
It's on your side, David, for
I guess
sure.
I'm out. Hold on. Am I out? I'm out. Okay, here we go. Rob Nelson's. Rob Nelson. First, I only saw your nose here, and it was just
All right.
frozen. So.
All right, so I'm not in a great
Hold on.
studio.
You know, I gotta switch. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hold on. This is some bullshit. This is absolute bullshit.
I don't think he can hear us, Rob. But
Well, we hear each other, Andy. Wait. I got a
hear
setup
me?
for you.
Do you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we hear
kind of,
you.
yeah.
Do you hear us?
There you are. Look at David's back. Hey, David, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show,
my ass,
David.
bro.
Welcome to the show where it all gets blown up.
Oh my god. All right, hold on. Let me.
All right.
Do I need
You
to?
do what you got to do. Make all your
All right,
excuses.
listen,
You be
here we
Iran
go.
here. You be
Rob
Iran here and
Nelson
make all kinds of
has
excuses.
been doing nothing but crying. Hold on. Hold on. Let me change the overlay. Somebody change the overlay here. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, here's the overlay. All right, cool. Rob Nelson is just crying every single day. Okay? Same story, different time, the same story, same narrative, crying.
Wow. Well, I'm on the Trump train right now.
It's not fair. It's
All
not
right.
fair. Why
You know
do
what?
just-
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, or are you just muting me for fun?
I didn't mute anybody.
No. we
All
can hear
right.
you.
So, Landy, let me start with you. Let's leave David aside just for a second, okay? All right, Landy. I'm going to ask you a question. I want your honest answer. All right, Landy?
Yeah.
All right. I'm watching what's happening. I'm listening. I'm listening to the president's own words. Again, I'm not listening to the random outsiders. I'm listening to his own words. They're going to make a deal. Maybe in the next couple days. I don't think so, because Iran's going to put a wedge in that whole thing. But let's say they do. They open the strait
Iran
and
doesn't
they
have
agree to
control of
have
the
a
strait.
conversation. They agree to have a conversation about, nuclear stuff. And Trump said it's conceptual at this point. When you say it's conceptual with the Iranians, okay, fine, not okay. They're going to open it up. Trump wants the strait opened up. He wants energy prices to go down. I know long term, Landy, you're right. The energy grid moves toward us, but short term, it's a transition process. He wants it opened up. He wants to make it work. Oh, Iran's going to promise never to make a nuclear weapon. I'm sorry. 10 years ago, I heard that promise. This is a complete bailout. And I know you're going to say it's not, but honestly,
You're wrong. Okay.
you're offering them. Okay, well, Landy, you're offering them. Here's the deal. We open the Strait of Hormuz, we move our blockade away, and then we talk nuclear deal. Sorry, that's where we were 10 years
Hey,
ago. Not good.
hey,
There is
Rob.
no good in this. I'm sorry. This is a bailout. This is
I'm
a
gonna.
fucking bailout.
Okay. Well, first off, that is none of what you said is actually happening. We just struck them, and are threatening to take Karg Island from them. In addition,
No. He took it off the table, Landy. He said we're not going to
did
take Karg Island
I think
anymore.
you're
That
not
was
keeping
last
up with
night.
the pace of what's happening, Rob, because I don't know if you read earlier today the Truth Social posts that he put out, but he also said they better watch what they're doing and watch their step. But essentially, he said the terms that they leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that we agreed to in writing. What is said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with them. There is no such thing as a deal in good faith. Amazing. Also, their totally rebuffed drone attack last night against Indian ships leaving the Strait of Hormuz. Totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast. Now, this is in addition to the fact that we've been striking them throughout the week. Also, did you know, Rob? Did you know about the 100 million barrels of oil that moved through the strait that was facilitated, just like I said was going to happen, by the
Yeah.
U.S. Navy? So who controls the
Landy,
strait? It's not Iran, brother.
Landy,
It
we
ain't
control the
Iran.
strait. We
We
control the
control
strait.
it.
Hold on, Landy, what does
Yeah.
it take? Sorry, I know you have your hand up a puppet, but what does it take for you to realize you
Ooh.
can't have your hand up Donald Trump? Like, seriously?
Whoa.
He's
Brother,
Oh
literally said, hold
shit.
on.
brother,
He's
you
literally said 40, hold
are
on. He's literally
borderline
said 40
TDS with
times,
this.
hold on. There's no TDS. I fucking
This
love
on
Trump. I
this
fucking
subject,
wanted
on
him
this
from day
particular
one.
subject, you have Iran
No,
derangement
no,
syndrome in this case.
I'm literally like he wants to bring the temperature down. I get it. He wants the
Hey, have you
markets to
looked
be
at the
calm.
cost per
He
barrel of oil, Rob?
Yeah,
Have
it's
you looked
going
at the price per
down
barrel of oil?
because
Yeah.
yes, but truthfully, Landy,
Why?
Lebanon's off the table. Do you think for 1 second Bibi
You
Netanyahu
don't
is going to
know.
not
It's
go
fog
after
of war.
Lebanon?
It's fog of
All
war,
right,
Rob.
you
You
know what?
don't know. None of this. Hey,
Fog.
guess what? There was a
This is your
deal.
line, Landy. Fog of war.
No.
Fog. I'm gonna light up a
Yes.
cigarette in a minute, just to I'm
Okay.
gonna fucking light up a cigarette, drink bourbon to make this all okay.
Yeah. Well,
Landy, hold
here's
on.
the
Landy,
problem,
hold on.
Rob.
Wait, hold on.
What you're
Before
saying
you give
is
me your
there is no
analysis, hold
deal.
on. No, hold on. Before you give your analysis, you and I both know Iran, fractured as their government is, has no intention of doing what they say. There is zero part of this regime that will actually honor their commitment. So if the commitment is,
Hey, Rob.
as Donald Trump said, it's conceptual what we're going to
On
do
that,
with the nuclear stuff. That is not okay. Sorry, not okay.
do
Take
you
our
not
guy.
understand
Take the
that
whole fucking thing.
Rob, does Rob not understand and I'm going to ask it to you in the third person. Does Rob not understand the concept of putting that out there, knowing full well that we have our entire Navy CENTCOM still there? We just struck them. We will continue to strike them. We will take Karg Island if needed. And in fact, I bet you we do. And the administration knows that there is no dealing with it. That's why you saw, hey, there's a deal. Then even Iran said, no, there's not a deal. Then Iran said there is a deal. Then Trump said there's no deal. If you don't think that's fog of war, and if you don't understand how the administration is using that as a bludgeon right now in this game, and you keep hanging on these things that you know will not come to fruition, meaning there is no chance of them ever getting to a deal without the nuclear dust. You know this. You know this. And what did I just read to you? You don't want to take Trump's own words on the subject. There is no deal. There's no deal. They never said
Landy,
that. Oh,
Landy,
hey,
here's my question. Landy, here's my question for
nothing
you.
has changed.
Is there any point, Landy, at
When
which, and David,
actions
you come
are
in
taken.
next. Landy, is there any point at which you will acknowledge that Trump is managing an enormous number of variables? He's managing the US economy, he's managing the midterms, he's managing Iran. Are you willing to acknowledge at any point, Landy, that he is trying? Look, he keeps saying they want to make a deal more than we do. They don't want to make a deal. They literally want to survive. They want to hold on. If they can buy another 2 months, it's a victory for Iran. That's a victory if they can hold on 2 more months.
It's not a victory.
They'll say whatever they have to say
There's
to hold
no
on 2
victory.
more months. For them, it is. For them, it's a victory
it's
if they
not.
cannot be
No, it's not.
squashed by us. It's a victory. Don't be squashed
it's
by
not.
America. Hold on for 2 more months.
This is
We could
Iran
squash them,
derangement
Landy.
syndrome.
We could squash them in a
because you
heartbeat.
don't
Hold on. Why don't we?
you don't
why
want to
don't we take
acknowledge.
Karg Island? No, I want to acknowledge. Why don't we
They
take
already put
Karg
it on the
Island? Like,
table.
let's just take it.
So
No, put it on the table.
okay,
Take
because
it.
things
Take
aren't happening on Rob's timeline. Rob doesn't believe that we are in control of the situation. And this is the biggest problem that you seem to have, Rob, in this particular issue, is that you believe because it's not happening on your timeline and because there is so much conflicting information week to week that somehow we are not in total control of this entire situation. And I'm going to point to the fact that we've been moving ships through the entire time. We've been escorting them through because we control the strait. We hold all the cards.
All right.
We can take, hey,
This is
listen
your
to
thing.
me. When I said from day one that we the target would be Karg Island. Now, I wasn't so
Yeah.
sure that we would actually invade Karg Island, but that we would take it. What just came out
But
earlier this week?
Landy,
What just
let me
finish.
interrupt you. Let me
I'm
interrupt you.
asking you a
No,
question.
well,
What just
interrupting
came
you.
out earlier this
it
week?
takes. Okay, yes, we're going to take Karg Island, but we're not. Hold on. The truth is, and you know this. Oh, you know this. The oil company execs have come in and said, we are running out of reserves. We are pulling down the reserves. We
No,
need
they're not. Where
a
are you getting
relief.
this information
Of course
from?
they are.
No,
Yeah,
they're
come
not.
on, Landy. You're
They're not
smart.
running.
They
Onshore
absolutely are
reserves
draining down
are doing just
reserves.
fine. Rob, you
No,
are
I'm not
living in a
saying we're about to
fantasy
run. I'm
land.
not saying, hold on. I'm not saying we're running
Our
out of
reserves are
oil.
bulking.
I'm saying,
Onshore oil is
no.
bulking.
I'm saying they are aware that, look, they are aware that prices are going up. This is not crazy, Landy. You're super smart.
What?
Like, this is a business
Rob, you just
decision.
said three
Like,
things that are not factual. First of all, onshore reserves are doing just fine. SPR is doing just fine, back in growth. We are pumping out more oil than ever before in the United States, and it's only increasing, not decreasing. They are not stressed about oil here in the United States. That by no
they're
measure.
stressed about costs, not about supply,
No, they're not.
about costs.
No, they're not.
Well,
The higher oil cost goes, the
stressed.
better it is for the oil company because our cost
Yes,
per
but
barrel
they're
to drill is down.
All right. You know what, Landy? I feel like literally this is like why transgender athletes should compete. Seriously?
No, first of all, don't deflect.
Hold on, Landy.
What's the cost per
Okay,
barrel
I'm
for
deflecting,
WTI?
but you're deflecting. Look,
No, I'm not.
know as well as I do, Landy. You know
Oil companies are
that
printing
hold
money
on.
right now.
Yes, they are. But that said, They also know that if they lose the midterms, they're fucked. So they want Trump and the
No, they're
Republicans to win the
not.
midterms, and they're aware. All
The
right, all
world
right.
the
There's
world does
nothing I
not
can
run
say.
based on the
There's nothing
United
I
States
can say that
midterm.
you will accept. There's nothing I can
Because
say.
you're
Even
wrong.
Trump's own words won't.
You're
work for you.
wrong. You're 100%
All right,
wrong
am I
on
wrong
this.
that he said? Am I wrong that he said it's a conceptual framework for what we're going to
Because
do after
there
this?
is no
If they
deal. The
open the
deal is a
strait, we'll
framework.
lift it.
Where's the deal? Is it
It's
signed, Rob?
conceptual. After
What
this.
is
Conceptual?
changed?
Conceptual that you're going to
You're gonna
conceptual
hang
that
on a
Iran's going to not make
fucking
nuclear
word, but you're gonna
weapons?
ignore everything else in favor of one word, as if that is the defining characteristic of this entire deal. You just told me, a market analyst, that they're hurting. The oil execs are hurting, right? No, they're not.
No, I didn't say. I never said they're hurting. I said they want this to end. I never said
No,
they're
they
hurting.
don't. No, they don't.
Okay,
They would love
fine.
for $100
Let me give you
barrel
that.
per oil
Let me be a
WTI.
lawyer and
Do you know the
stipulate. Let me
cost
be a
for
lawyer.
them to pull it out
Let
of
me
the
be a
ground
lawyer
is
and hold
low
on. Let
as
me be a lawyer and
fuck.
stipulate that they don't
Girls,
care.
calm down,
Trump,
girls. Girls, calm down. Okay.
David wants in. David is chomping
Girls.
at the bit to weigh in on this. David wants in. David wants in on this convo. I am not wrong, Landy. This
Yes,
is
you are.
Trump wants this
100%.
thing over. Trump wants this over.
Sure. How come it's not over then if he wants it over so badly? How come a deal's not done if
Because
he wants
he's
it
not
over so
willing
badly?
to literally bomb the shit out of Iran. A little
Oh,
bombing,
because he
not
doesn't
major
bomb the shit
bombing.
out of him, he wants it over, but yet it's not over. But he wants it over.
You know
This
what?
makes no sense, Rob.
Here's my wild card. But Netanyahu is going to be like, I don't care what you said. I can't
Yes.
bomb Lebanon.
Bibi.
He's going to bomb Lebanon next week. He's going to be like, sorry,
You're
I
gonna
said
tell
I
me that
wouldn't. Too
Bibi runs
bad.
the United States next too? Give me a break.
No, I'm not saying that, Randy. You know I'm not. Don't throw me under the bus that way. You know
I'm
not
throwing you under
stupid
the
on
bus
this.
because you
But
just gave 3 really bad takes in a row, and I'm going to bludgeon you for it. Just like Iran got bludgeoned for 2 days in a row and 2 nights in a row. And they will get bludgeoned again
all
and
right.
again and again and
All
again
right,
and again
Landy.
until
All
we
right.
get what
Look,
we
you're
want.
coming on Monday. I'll bludgeon you back. This is
With
literally
facts this time.
Trump
With facts this time.
wants this thing ended. Trump
He
wants
doesn't want
out.
it ended. There's no way.
Landy, they're
He
going
wouldn't
to
be
lose
doing
the
these games on
midterms.
social media.
They're going to
Otherwise, it would be
lose the
over.
midterms. They're
Oh,
going to
no,
lose the
not the
House.
midterms. Oh, no, we're going to lose the House.
Wow.
He doesn't give a flying
They're
fuck
going to
at
lose
this
the
point.
Senate too. I think he does give
Oh
a
my
flying
God,
fuck.
they're going to
That's
lose
where
the
we
House
disagree.
and the Senate. Predictions made by Rob. And I guess, you know what's going to happen? Just like Thomas Massey won his primary.
What are you going to say?
They're
What
going
are
to
you
win
going to
the
say,
Senate. They're going to win the House.
Landy? What are you going to say to me if
Blue wave is
in
swelling,
November?
baby.
What are you going to say in November when Democrats win the House? Maybe the Senate. Remember, we had this conversation about North Carolina and
Nothing is going to
Ohio.
change in
They've
regards to
gone
Trump's
lean Republican.
administration stance.
Lean Democrat? What happens
What are
if
they
they
going to do,
win
Rob?
both?
A whole lot of nothing. The same thing they're doing now. It doesn't matter if it's the Republicans or the Democrats. Nothing is going to happen. They're not implementing his agenda to
Got to
begin
give
with.
Landy credit. Got to give Landy credit, David.
Nothing is going to
He is
happen.
sticking to his
Oh,
guns.
no. What are they going to do? They're going to impeach Trump. No, they're not. They need fucking 2/3. It's not going to happen. Get
Well,
that
they'll
shit out of
impeach
your
him. They won't
skull.
convict him. They'll impeach him. They won't convict him.
Oh,
But they'll
no,
use
not
up a
another
lot of time.
impeachment. He's not going to be able to run the government while under investigation and there's an impeachment. They literally just funded DHS and everything that we wanted for the border and security and everything that he's
Landy's
got.
more wound up.
Boom, baby.
Landy is
They are
more wound up
fucking
than I've
Twist
ever
on
heard him.
Sunday, bro.
Landy is wound up. I love it. Landy is on fire right now. This is good.
No, you just said
Landy's
to
on fire.
the analyst, the market analyst, you made the biggest mistake
David,
is
look
to
at
tell
David
me about
laughing.
fucking
Look at
oil,
David
bro.
laughing. Landy, I love that you're on fire. I love this. This is where it gets real. I love that you're on fire. David is chomping at the fucking
Iran
horse
is in
bit
charge,
right now.
guys. They're gonna close this strait down. Meanwhile, we're moving 100 million barrels of fucking oil through during the ceasefire. Give me a break, bro. We are in such a powerful position.
Landy, can I
Europe
just
is crying. Russia's crying.
Can I
China
just
wants a
say I
deal.
love? Can I
Iran
just
wishes that
say?
they never
Can I just say
fucking
I love this
never
Landy? I
grabbed
love
the
this
tail,
Landy
bro.
that is uncensored. I love it. I love uncensored Landy. I
David,
love
you're
it.
muted.
This is
You're
good.
muted. You're muted. David, unmute yourself, sir.
Oh shit! I said,
Yeah,
girls,
unmute
hold on,
yourself so
girls,
we can hear you.
girls, relax, girls.
Stop
Okay,
calling us
relax.
girls. By the way,
Girls,
hold
relax.
on. We got bigger balls. Hold
I
on.
had
We
to
got
cut in
bigger
real quick.
balls than you times 10.
Okay, hold on. You got no balls. Okay, you voted for Kamala. Number one, sit down. Second,
Wow.
okay,
Wow.
there you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Don't worry, and you can
Wow.
sit down fast because you have nothing to worry about because you got no balls. Now, listen.
Wow. Wow.
I'm finding it.
Start with that.
I'm
Start
finding
with
it
that
real
as your
funny.
hook. Start with that as your hook.
I'm finding it funny. The reason why I'm laughing is not because Landy's losing his shit. It's because you're fighting a puppet. Guys, continue fighting.
No,
Yo,
David, you need
he's
to
on
weigh in here
relay.
because
This
you
is
got
so
your own
bad.
feelings.
He's on relay. He's hearing me 5 minutes later. This is crazy. How do you come to a debate and you're delayed 10 seconds?
I'm delayed.
Yeah.
I'm delayed 10 seconds.
Yes, you might need to
I
round
said
trip.
what you're hearing 10 seconds ago.
All right. Well, you know what? Call me Trump. 10 seconds late.
Look, here's my take.
He was
Okay.
30 years
think
early to this one.
I think an older gentleman, okay, or actually a veteran.
Wow,
needs to speak.
you're being an ageist. You're being an ageist. That's okay. I
Hold
can
on.
take it.
I'm not calling you old. I was talking about myself. Now, let a real man step in here and talk about the situation.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Enough
wow.
of. Okay. Sip on that Kamala cup and let me go ahead and explain.
Wow.
Trump. Look,
Wow.
I find
Landy's
it.
hiding behind his puppet. Landy, take your puppet away. I want to see your face. Put your face
Brother,
up
Rob,
here. Come on.
if you knew who
Rob,
I
Face to
was,
face with
you'd
me.
probably freak out.
Rob, listen. Until you upgrade your mobile connection from Cricket to Verizon or T-Mobile,
Whatever.
you have
I'm
nothing to
sitting
stand
next
on.
to Cricket
Okay?
and Verizon.
You
I did
have
this
you need to
remote.
be a part of a Verizon commercial, okay, where you're upgrading your phone. Number one, to even speak on this subject. You can't even keep up with this goddamn subject when you're 10 seconds delayed. Now let me go ahead and break it down to you. What's happening out there in Iran? Now, do I want the war to come to an end? Absolutely. Because we know we're going to Cuba next. Your echo, by the way, is really bothering me. Can you mute yourself for a second, Rob, on that Cricket mobile
Yes.
connection? Because my God, what is happening? Now,
He's got a round trip because give him a second to round trip because I think his connection has him really far behind what we're talking about. He's coming back.
he's still on me saying that the veteran needs to step in and girls. That's what he's on. Listen, I want the war to end. 100%. I made it very clear. I want it to end already.
Keep it going.
I'm tired of the messages, Landy. Like, here's one thing that I am tired of. You know, yesterday Trump comes out, says there's a deal done sometime somewhere in Europe to go sign this goddamn document. Iran, somebody in Iran's fucking, I don't know which department, they're obviously not communicating with each other. They're coming out, they're like, I have no clue about what deal he's talking about. You got Israel coming out, Bibi saying, I didn't get notice of any deal either. I could care less about Bibi and what he says. But anyway, everybody's saying, what deal are we talking about? Then today there's a deal that's some part of the department in Iran's regime. They're coming out, they're saying that they've never been as close to a deal as they are now. Trump's coming out then saying, after they say that, he's out there like, yo, I'm about to go bomb the shit out of you guys. So like, this shit is a fucking circus right now on the social media. 100%, it's a fucking circus.
War. Fog of
I
war.
get it, but it's a fucking circus. And what did I tell you about perception? Hey, what did I tell you about perception, puppet? I told you people that their IQs are not higher than a 50, they're like, yo, they're like, what's happening? What is happening? I thought it was over.
No, nothing is
I
substantially
thought they're
changed at all.
signing. I'm talking about the perception of
Yeah.
people who don't have very high IQs and they listen to Rachel Maddow on MSNBC or whatever the fuck they call that shit, and Abby Phillips. These people are confused. They're like, oh, so then Abby Phillips is right. You imagine ever going out in public and saying yes, saying some shit that Abby Phillips has said and repeating it? You imagine going out in public like this?
Well,
You imagine being Rob Nelson and listening to Abby Phillips and agreeing with her? Let's bring Rob Nelson back in here because he's going to get mad. I'm just saying, we need to get the fuck out of
Do
there.
not compare me to Abby Phillips. Seriously.
We need to get
You know
out of
what?
there. Here, look, I'll let you guys
You
have this
guys,
side
hold
because I
on,
look
hold
better
on,
on this
hold
side.
on. Here's my thing. No more
Hold on, you
calling me a
can't
Kamala.
interrupt me. You cannot
No
interrupt me.
more
Okay,
calling
I
me. No
respect my
more
elders,
calling
but I
me.
will not be
No more.
interrupted.
No more. I will not be interrupted. No more calling me Kamala Harris, Abby Phillips. Like seriously, you know I am not either one of them. Like if you don't like what I say, that's fine. But stop making me these fucking woke fucking nut jobs, because I'm not.
Listen, don't get flustered, okay? It is what it is. If you allow me to land my
Well,
plane, I would appreciate it. May I land the plane?
look at how calm he is, Landy. This is what he does. He just is like Trump. It's the greatest deal ever. Greatest deal ever for 40
buzz the
days.
tower,
Like,
David.
sorry.
Buzz the tower. And then landed
Buzz the
upside down
tower.
like a Delta flight.
I give you credit,
Eh,
David. It's impressive. It's impressive. I gotta honor the fact that it's impressive.
And it's impressive when I have no monitors working and I'm still looking into or trying to look into the camera. Now, let's put it this way. I want the war to end because the midterms are coming. The perception, I talked to Landy about this. I went on your show and for 15 minutes while I was focused, I talked about this on your show. I would like it to end because the perception right now for those who did vote for Trump is that they feel like this war is not allowing them to live here in the United States of America. I'm trying to keep it very simple. That's the way that the perception is because they're watching mainstream media, and mainstream media, unfortunately, American-based companies are not on Trump's side. Okay, they're not on Trump's
You're right.
side.
You're right about
They,
that.
I mean, it is the truth. They want to see. All they put out there is narratives of the United States of America losing when that's not true. Okay, and you have people. What do they tune into? Regular people tune into mainstream media. They're not. They could tune into this show. They couldn't. They could tune into other podcasts. But at the end of the day, the majority of media is left. The left wing, the left leaning, and they push these narratives out there, especially the newspapers, that we are in an endless war. We got ourselves into the next Vietnam, when that is not the truth. So my thing
That's true.
is,
That's facts.
I would
We are
like
not in Vietnam. We are not in
correct,
Vietnam.
but that's what they're pushing. They are pushing as if we are, that Trump doesn't know what he's doing, that the administration doesn't
Yep.
know what they're fucking doing, which is further from the truth. Because I would never say that about Joe Biden. I would never say that about Obama. I would never say that about Bush. I believe people go in with the plan. They listen to their generals. They know what they're doing. Now, is everything going to work in your favor? No. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't believe everything's going to work to your favor. But I believe that we are winning. Now, for me,
All right,
obviously,
David, but
I'm
hold
going
on,
impatient.
David,
Hold on, let me
hold
land
on.
it.
Is
Let me
no,
land
let
it.
me no, you
Hey,
always want to land it.
let me finish. I'm almost done. My thing is, I want it to end because I know we're going to Cuba next. Cuba should be easy to go ahead and take on. And who knows if we go to Colombia next too. Okay, I don't think it stops at Cuba. It might be Colombia next after Cuba. I just want this to end so people can go ahead and say, you know what? It's not because of gas prices. It's like that shit's over with. The media won't have any more talking points about Iran. They could go ahead and press the issue, but people, they're like goldfish, okay? they'll forget about it in 2 weeks and then moving on to why is he taking on Cuba.
You're right about that.
So
You're right about that. But David,
I just
is it
want to be out
it
of Iran.
possible?
Iran is really it's one of those things where
All
I
right,
did say we should
but
flatten it at this point, okay? Because these terrorists are not going to go ahead and comply. And even if they do, this shit
do
will start back up in the next 6 to 8 years anyway. That's
but
it. That was my
wait,
opinion.
that's what I'm saying. Hold on. That's what I'm saying, Landy. Is it not reasonable to say that making a deal with Iran where we open the strait, they agree to have conversations about how they'll never have a nuclear weapon, is literally them buying 5-6 years for the next
You are
wave of this?
making
That's
that
all I'm
up
saying.
based on your own fears. That is literally
I'm
not what
not.
has been said.
They're actually, it's not
I'm
my
reading it right
fears.
now.
That's what
Tell
they've
me,
said.
no, that is what Iran came out and said. You're literally taking Iran's word over
You're
what
twisting
the
my words
president is saying.
too.
Yeah,
No,
You're
but
I'm
twisting
not
my
taking
words.
Iran's word. I'm taking 50. Hold on. I'm taking 50 years of
Look at
history.
him.
no,
He is
They
you are
so
never,
not
agitated.
they
listening
have
to
no,
what the
they are not,
administration
hold
is
on,
saying.
Landy.
Are
They
you
are not,
smoking
Landy,
on
you're
air?
so
What is
rational.
this?
They
Is
are
this
not a
Echo Stern
rational,
show?
Why is there
they are
why is there
not a
four
rational
C-17s
state
headed out to the
actor.
Middle East right now from Europe, Rob? Do you think that's because we are like, "Oh my god, we
Landy,
should back
Landy,
down"?
they are not, Landy,
Wow.
we are a rational state actor. They are not a
No, I'm
rational
not
state
talking
actor.
about
They
let's
don't care.
hey, Rob, for just a moment, let's pretend it's not Iran and let's look at the facts. Because facts do matter, not your feelings. And facts matter way more right now in this situation than anything else because there
Why
is
I'm being
mixed
so gaslit
messaging.
so right
There
now.
is mixed messaging from both sides purposefully, right? Why is there
Yes, but
listen for a moment. Why was there just 4 C-17s that are flying out to the Middle East? Why are we now moving assets all around to prepare for further strikes? Why are we doing that, Rob? Is it because we're ready to back down and do a deal? What did JD Vance just say
so
today?
Landy,
Wait a minute, because the facts don't line up with what you are saying here to myself and David, and that the facts are what did JD Vance just come out with? He said this false media narrative that's being pushed out there is not accurate at all to
wow.
what the deals are that are
So
being
Landy,
proposed. Your
let
contention
me
is
ask you
fairy
this.
tales.
All right,
Your contention is
let
that
me
we're
ask
just
you
gonna
this.
let them do anything they want, reopen the strait. He literally said
So
there's no money being
Landy,
exchanged. There would be nothing. That would just be a
Landy,
good
Landy,
sign.
Landy, Landy, let me ask you a real simple question,
Yeah.
okay? I'm going to agree with what you said. Fair enough. If we make a deal with Iran where in exchange for them agreeing to have 60, 90, 120 days, I don't care how many
That's not
days of
even part of any
conversations
deal
about hold on, you won't even let me finish.
because it's
Where
fantasy,
we
Rob.
work out no, hold on. Trump said it's a conceptual framework. If we make a deal where we lift the blockade in exchange for them promising to do something in the future, let's just say that's what he said. We're going to lift the blockade and they conceptually are promising to do this. Will you at some point
No.
acknowledge that is a really risky
Because
proposition?
that means nothing, Rob. What part of this do you not understand? It means nothing. Assets aren't going to move. We're not taking the military out of there. And the moment they step out of line and don't give us what we want, they're going to get hit harder than
Well,
they got hit
how's
the
the
first time
moment,
around.
Landy? How's the moment they step out of line? They bought themselves 6
No, they
months
didn't buy
where we lift
themselves
the
anything.
blockade.
They got hit
Okay, Landy,
yesterday, bro. What are you
Landy,
talking about?
why don't we not lift the blockade? Why, here's my simple question. Why don't, to both of you, why don't we say the blockade gets
As
lifted
of 4
when we
hours
have
ago,
the uranium? Period.
Iran's nuclear material under any deal would be destroyed. If that does not
No,
happen,
no,
what do you
no,
think's
no,
gonna
no,
happen?
no. Until we have the uranium, we don't lift the blockade. Period. End of
Did you
story.
not
How is
read
that
what
hard to get?
JD put out there? Are you not paying attention to what the leaders of
No,
the
I am.
administration are
I'm
saying?
asking you, Landy, I'm asking you a real
You're
serious
posing
question.
the most panicking
How about
hypothetical I've ever
until
heard.
no panic? How about
This is
I'm
ridiculous,
sorry,
Rob.
keep going.
You're positing something that
How,
has not even been floated as an agreement. You're giving
how
a
about
hypothetical.
until
This
you
is,
give us the
oh my
uranium, the
God, it's going to
blockade
be like
remains.
Obama again.
No, it's no. Oh my God! Until you give us the uranium, the blockade exists. Once you give us the uranium, blockade goes away.
Look,
It's pretty simple,
Rob,
not crazy.
let me give you a
Give us the uranium,
hypothetical.
we lift the
Let me
blockade.
give you a
All right,
hypothetical.
David, am I
hold on,
wrong
guys.
here? Come on,
Let
David,
me
am
ask
I
you a
wrong?
question. Hold on, guys.
Since
BB
we're gonna play in
rejecting Trump's
hypotheticals.
Iran deal. What do you think of that? Let's switch topics real quick. What do you think about BB rejecting Trump's Iran deal?
BB's captured by London. He wants this to continue.
Wow, you're doing this on London capture. Wow.
Yeah, BB is not an independent actor. He's working on
You know
behest
what?
of London. That's why he's been keeping things going in
No
Lebanon.
one's an independent actor. BB is really clear.
Rob, can you put your phone?
He's no
Can you
part of
put your
him.
phone on something where we can see your face? I feel like this is like a bad movie. If you get one of my drift, right?
I'm
Like,
going to pose a
can you put your
hypothetical
phone this way, like in front of you?
because
No, in
Rob
front
wants
of
to
you.
have hypothetical conversations here.
Rob,
Here's
put your
a
phone in front of
hypothetical.
you.
You want me to
conversation.
go? You want me? Look, how about this? How about this? I block it. Is that better? You want
No.
this here? There you got my
What the hell
RN.
is
My
going
Run
RN,
the
on?
and
puppet PFP for a moment.
you're fucking.
I'm running a high. Can you
This is
put your
fine.
phone on
Just stay
something
there.
so it's like it's facing your face?
Stare into the puppet's glasses for just a moment because you wanted to propose a hypothetical. Let me propose a hypothetical to you. What if we say we're going to do a deal and then we just go and take Carg Island? What if we say we're going to do a deal?
We're not gonna take our
Listen.
island.
Oh, I'm
Trump won't
sorry.
put boots
How
on
about
the
I say this
ground.
definitively? We're not going to let them have nuclear material, Rob.
What does that mean, Landy?
Oh, what does it mean
They're
we're
gonna
not going to
promise
take
not
Carg
to do
Island,
it?
Rob? What does it mean that we're not going to take Carg Island? We're just saying we're going to take it. What does it mean? This is bullshit
How about we
hypotheticals.
take
Let's
it,
operate in
Landy? How
bullshit
about we take
hypothetical
it? How
land for a
about we
moment.
take it? How about we take our
How
island? How about we
no, let
just
me
take
let me
their
get through the hypothetical, Rob. Let's say we take Carg Island, right? Let's say we open up
Yeah,
the
I
strait and
want that.
keep the
Let's take it.
blockade
Let's
on,
take their
and we
fucking
take.
major
Well,
energy source.
listen, hear me out here, Rob, because you want to operate in hypothetical land. Let's say that we
No,
say
I'm
we're
not
going to do a
hypothetical.
deal.
I want to do it.
Let's say we do a
I don't want a
deal
deal. I
and
want
we
to
get
take
what
their
Rob
fucking energy
wants.
infrastructure
We
out.
take Carg Island like we say and keep threatening to do. And then we also beat the ever loving fuck off of their asses here. They're just shitting in barrels
Landy's
of
wound
oil
up.
that are
Landy's
full
wound
because they've
up.
got a shut-in going internally while we take Carg Island. They start collapsing from within. They go to run to London. We catch them, and then we actually invade, and we're there for 20 years. How would you feel about that? Another 20-year war.
You know
How about
what,
a
Landy?
GWAT
You want my
2.0 fighting
answer? You
cells
know what?
in the regime?
I'll take a 20-year war to end the
Rob,
fucking nuclear threat.
you are on
Seriously?
the
I'll
wrong
take a
side of history
20-year
if
war to
that's
end the
what you
nuclear
want,
threat.
is my point. If that's what you
All
want,
I gotta
that's
say,
what you're going to
David,
get.
I gotta say, I never heard Landy this wound up. I love it, Landy. I love you on passion mode. I love you on you've gone into
The last
hyperdrive. I
time I
love
was in Washington, D.C., Rob, I had a conversation with a Democrat
He's wound
senator.
up, David. He's
And
wound
that
up. This is
Democrat
good.
senator said to me, while their staff was sitting there, that what is being
Look at
done in
Landy
Iran
dropping
right
names.
now.
Talking to a Democratic senator.
Well, you got to talk to both sides. You know this. You worked with
No, I
them.
meant you're talking to senators. You're like
Well,
it's good. It's good. You know
yes,
you're
this
owning your
Democrat senator,
influence.
by the way, and his team are actually. I actually like this particular person. I don't like the way they voted on
Who
the
is
SAVE
it?
Act.
Just say who it is. Just say who it
It
is.
was John
Whatever.
Fetterman
Who
and
is
his
it?
team. But one of
Okay.
the things that he said was
John Fetterman, which
one of the
he's the
things that
only
he
one who's
said
rational on that
in
side. He's the
regards
only
to
rational
Iran
Democrat in
and
this.
his team, the person, one of his staff members there, I thought they were going to cringe to death because they hated this. He said, what Trump is doing with Iran is he's playing the same game they're playing. He's going to lie to them over and over and over and over again. And this is exactly what we need to do. And you're just going to crush them and squeeze them out over time, was essentially his point. And his staff member, you could have fucking knocked them over with a goddamn feather because they could not believe that a Democrat was saying this. And you want to know something? This is actually
Yeah.
indicative of conversations that are going on the Democrat side. They actually know what he's doing. They understand what he's doing, but they can't come out and say it
Yeah.
because they need to win the midterms.
But Fetterman can. Can we take a second?
He can
Hold on.
say
Can
it.
we take a second, David? Can we take a second and acknowledge Landy's come out from under the. I know he's still got the puppet with his hand up the butt, but whatever.
I'm a nobody. I'm a
Landy's
lark.
come out
As
and just.
Simply Rob
Landy's
says in
come
the
out.
comments,
No, hold on.
I'm a
Can we
lark.
acknowledge Landy's coming out? Hold on. Can we acknowledge Landy's coming out and telling the truth, which is powerful? Like he's sitting there talking to the people that matter. If anybody listening thinks Landy's just saying shit, he's like, no, I'm actually talking to the people in power, which is kind of impressive, to be honest, Landy. You're talking to the people that matter. And Fetterman is probably the only Democrat that gets this.
He's the only
But
one that matters these
congrats
days.
to you that you're no, but congrats to you, Landy. You're talking to them. You don't sell yourself enough, David. Landy has access. Like anybody listening should not think Landy's just giving his. You can say I'm giving my opinions. I had access a long time ago. Landy's got real access. It's kind of powerful.
But
I
Rob,
know
And
you
David, I know
and
you're
David can
smiling
get
and
I know
involved
laughing,
too.
Landy has
whatever, but, you know.
access. I know Landy has access. But I'm not going to put his business out there. Landy wants to talk about it. He can. At the end of the day, I do believe.
Well, he
that,
just did. He
oh,
just
hold
did
on.
talk about
No,
it.
but hold
Lutz.
on. I'm gonna take
No.
Landy. Hold on.
Rob is a Republican, right, Rob?
Hold on. Let me say something real quick.
I'm
Hey,
not a
hold on,
Republican
10
or a
second delay, 1
Democrat. I'm an
second.
independent.
10-second delay. Hold on 1 second. Cricket Wireless. You're sponsored by Cricket today. Let me say one thing.
Oh, wow. Let's get him as a sponsor. on
Landy
this.
might have access to certain information, but at the end of the day, like I really do believe he speaks. These are his views. Like this is how he views things.
Yes.
And I'll side with him respectfully. I side with him more than I do with you because you're more of a libertarian.
It's okay.
No. You're more of a libertarian, like liberal. I don't know. You're somewhere. You're definitely not a Republican.
Don't call me a liberal.
No,
Do
you
not
are a
fucking
liberal. You're
call
like
me
an
a
old
liberal.
school. No. I was giving you a compliment. You're like an old school liberal, which is not bad. Okay, like you're a liberal, and there's nothing wrong about it. But for me, I side a little bit with more so with obviously with Landy than you because like you're just like you talk about Trump in a way that it's like it sounds like you watched an episode of CNN's Town Hall with Abby Phillips.
No.
So
But you see,
No,
even
but I get it.
even
I
your
get it.
no, even your no was like, damn, he's right because you
No.
know I'm right.
You know what?
I explained to
You know
Rob
what
that I
the
used to
truth
be a
is? If
Democrat
you,
on his show on
And
Monday.
you know what's the
I used
craziest
to be a
part?
Democrat too,
Rob.
Landy.
Yeah.
Rob,
Landy and I
hold on.
both were Democrats.
Hold on, Rob. But the craziest part is you grew up in an era where you were against all this shit. Not Trump. You would have loved a person
honestly,
like Trump. You were that guy. What happened?
Listen, I want to be clear. Hold on. I want to be clear, really clear for the viewers, people watching. I supported Trump from the minute he came down the escalator. I supported him at 45. I supported him the failed 46. I supported him at 47. That does not mean I cannot see where he has faults and weaknesses. The fact that I support him or think he came in a bull in a china shop, which we needed. I support that. Does not mean I can't be critical or acknowledge he's also trying to look. You want to go to Epstein files? Like MGT is right. Like he's like, no, he's protecting his friends. Like I can be critical and still support him. Like,
But
it
how
doesn't
is
make
he
me
the one doing it?
a Democrat. Doesn't make me a socialist because I find
He
faults
signed.
in some of what he does.
Can I ask you a question, Rob? So the Epstein files, obviously, very big deal all of last year into this year. And first off, I think you would agree with this statement that both David and I have said. If there was anything to do with Trump that was actually had the goods on
It had
him,
nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him.
Well, my
Nothing
point
to do with
being
him.
is
you're
they would have
wrong there
released.
also. Landy, you're wrong there also. You know why? Because when you bring up the Epstein files, Trump did fumble it. Or
Well, hold on.
No. He fumbled it. But hold on. I want to be clear, Landy, before you finish. I don't think there's anything that implicates Trump. I think it
yes.
implicates powerful
Okay.
friends of
So,
his. Not
but I
him.
would like
He's
to.
clear. He's clear
I'd
and
like to
free.
point out he did sign that bill that was put on his desk for the release, and it was his administration that fumbled the ball.
Yeah,
He
but Landy,
he
I
signed
know
the bill as it. Well, hold on. He signed the
Okay.
bill as is, right? And I know that it's the leader. You need to then put the pressure on Bondi. She should have done it the right way. It shouldn't have been marketed in this
No,
way.
I'm not gonna even go after
Take
Bondi. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it fumbled. I'm
Go
gonna tell
ahead.
you where the fumble came from if you let me for a few
Yeah,
seconds.
yes. And then I wanted to follow up on that.
The fumble came, the Trump fumble came when he came out to the press and said, "Why do you guys keep talking about this? Why are you
Yes.
so concerned?" That's the fumble. Because at the end
Yeah,
of the
because you talked about it for 4 fucking years. That's why they're
no,
talking about it.
because he got set up. Trump got set up with the Epstein files. I'll tell you how. Because when they asked him on the campaign trail about releasing files, he said, "Yeah, absolutely, I will." And when he came into office, he started positioning, well, Biden should have done. No. You said it. Now you got to own it. I love Trump, but you got to own it now. You got to go ahead and get this.
David,
No, hold on. When
David,
he goes
he
to,
has
hold
people
on. When
he's
he went out to the
protecting.
press, listen, there's a lot of blame to go around. But when he comes out to the press, and I know what kind of Trump, I know what Trump was trying to do. He was trying to take away. I feel this. I could be wrong. I think he was trying to take away the fumble from Pat Bondi, and he was trying to take it on himself. But when he was coming out there,
Maybe.
he's a New Yorker. I know how he's thinking. He was coming out there to try to take away from his team. He's like, I can
Protect his
take the
teammate.
bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big. He's being a teammate, but at the end of the day, guess what? Well, as soon as he said that,
Seriously?
they were like, "Yo, what do you mean not release
All right.
Epstein files? So what? You're
Yeah.
protecting pedophiles and all this stuff?" Yeah, he put himself, Landy. He put himself in that position. He didn't
did.
need to do that. You
I
know what he
agree.
needs to? He should have done. Hey, why are these files not out
This
there?
teammate shit.
Why are we parading
This teammate
influencers?
shit,
Hold on.
David,
Why are we parading
David,
influencers
David,
in front of
this
the East
teammate
Wing?
shit.
Hold on. Why are we taking influencers, giving them binders of shit that's already on the internet? Why are we doing these things? That's what Trump should have done.
Landy, I want you,
And he
Landy,
should have
I
taken
want
the
you to
ball and
answer
said,
this.
I
but
will
Dave,
get these files
Landy,
released.
Landy,
Not about these files are
Landy,
meaningless. Why do we need to
Landy,
talk about them?
Landy,
And this guy's going to keep interrupting me.
I am.
I let
Because
you
I
talk.
want to be
I
clear.
let you talk.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hold on. Let me finish and I'm done.
Hold on.
I'll sit
Let
back here.
me take care of.
Hold on.
Let me
For
take.
49 minutes.
Hold on. Let
For
me take care
49
of
minutes.
David's.
For
Let me
49
take
minutes.
care of
I took
David's
2 minutes.
feelings.
Okay. Hold on. Just a second.
Let me.
You're on a fucking delayed mobile carrier. Okay. Hold on. Let me just fucking land the fucking plane. If Trump doesn't come out there and say that these files are meaningless, who cares about Epstein? Okay, he wouldn't be attacked this way. But when you come out, like us Republicans and MAGA heads have to say, like, bro, it's not about panicking or anything. It's just like you don't come out there and say this shit when the public is out here demanding it. Like all of us, we can agree, we hate pedophiles. When we hate Epstein and everything that was done, I want the people that were involved in this ring,
But David,
taken care of in terms of arrested and put to trial and whatnot.
I know you do.
But I know it's a
you
process.
do. But
It's
David,
a process. You can't do it you can't
David,
arrest somebody with no evidence. Thank God his Cricket Mobile phone fell.
Come on. At some level, sorry, I got dumped. At some level, David, you know he is literally protecting his friends. MGT said it. Like she's been honest from the start. She's never lied. She's been upfront
MGT,
every
honest?
time.
What are we talking about?
Don't throw her under the bus. Do not throw her under the bus. She has literally always said what she believes. She's like he said to me.
She's a grifter. Look, all she does is blame Israel for everything. She's
Come
a grifter.
on, Landy.
We knew she was a grifter from the early days. Look, she's been a grifter since the beginning.
You guys have Trump Trump rearrangement
No,
syndrome. Seriously, I
no.
love him,
I
but
never liked.
he's not
No,
perfect.
you can go back. You can go back to when she first came on the scene. I didn't like her. I didn't
I
trust
couldn't
her.
even
I
talk
felt
today.
she was a fucking grifter from the very beginning. My point in bringing those things up is to actually get to this point. All of these people, the only thing that they talk about is how Israel controls the United States, how Israel controls the presidency, how Israel is the one to blame for everything bad that has ever happened in the world ever, and that the entire administration is captured by Israel. They literally have, like I said, you have Iran
Yeah, you're
derangement
right.
syndrome.
That
They
you're
have
right about
Israel
that. You're right
derangement
about that.
syndrome, right?
You're right about that.
So
You're absolutely
so
right about that.
here's the big problem here. A lot of the actual is Israel lobby, especially APIC, when you actually look, they're a small player. They're a very small player in Washington D.C. I know people like to trumpet them as being massive. There's way
I know.
bigger,
Make it sound like they control the
but
government. No, put them
guess
next to
which side
pharma.
they're
They're
on.
nothing.
Guess which side they're on. You know who they actually fund and prop up the most? It's not Republicans. It's not Trump. It's Democrats. That's who they've been
Yeah, of
propping
course
up.
it is. Of
And
course it is. Yep.
the biggest issue here for the Republicans at this particular moment is that any Republicans that back the president and then are looking at this as Israel's the problem, they've literally lost the plot. And they now have ascribed everything bad going forward to being Israel and in control of Trump or in his ear
Yeah.
and all of this other stuff. And here's where I think that this has bled purely over to Iran. And now with everything that has happened with Iran, it comes through this lens, and it's this is the media also helps push this out there, right? Because you have anti-Israel on the left, right? Whether it's Israel Palestine, going back to that, or whether it's Israel facilitating the war in Ukraine, or whether it's Israel via the United States doing it, and then Israel doing this and controlling the United States via their threats in the Middle East and their threat to strike
Mm-hmm.
and all of this other
Mm-hmm.
stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the framing of every single issue on the far left and the far right, or I call them the fake right or the fake MAGA, because all they did was coattail ride MAGA into, whether it was getting into the House or some even in the Senate, they were coat riding MAGA, and they literally fought the president on everything and ended up doing the same things that they said they weren't going to
All
do, and
right.
that's enrich
You're right.
themselves the moment they got to Congress. They all just with they if you want to really look at guys, look at Tim Burchett, right? That guy is actually stuck to his word. MTG didn't stick to her word. How come Thomas Massey, who said he was going to read the
Mm.
names aloud on the floor, hasn't gone and read the fucking names out on the floor, huh?
All right. That's by the way, Landy, that's a fair point. Both of those are fair points. Can I offer a
MTG
counterpoint,
says she
David? And I
knows
want
too.
your take.
Here's my point about
Hold on.
MTG. She
Can I
said
offer?
she
Hold
knows
on.
the
Can
names.
I
How
offer?
come she
Hold
hasn't
on.
done it
Can
on
I
the
have?
podcast circuit?
You are right about both both with her and him. So, David, here's my your moderator, mediator here, Landy. Are you capable of acknowledging, just theoretically, that maybe Trump isn't perfect and he may not have actually, he may be doing things you don't think for different reasons, good reasons. He wants the US economy stable. He wants the markets to go up. He wants prices, gas, oil to go down, like all good stuff. Are you able to acknowledge that maybe Iran is not begging for a deal, that they're literally trying to stretch this out for forever?
I
And they'll make a
I am
deal and just stretch it
firmly
out forever. Can you actually acknowledge that they may
no,
not
no,
actually
because
be
I am
operating in good
firmly
faith?
in the camp of we are the ones that don't actually want to do a deal. And I am firmly in that camp that we do not want to do a
We
deal.
disagree
And
on
I am
that.
firmly in the camp that if you see some sort of a deal emerge, we will be the ones to violate it. We will be the ones to violate it. I've said this
I
before.
think you're all right.
Day one, go
This is
back
a
to
good
the
line of
show
demarcation.
after strikes. Day one, I told David this, that we were going to be the ones that actually drug this out. And I said strikes. I said, David, you remember strikes? I said probably more than 30 days. We're probably going to 60 days. We went to freaking 60 days. How did Landy, this stupid PFP on the internet, know that? How did Landy know that we were
Well,
going to?
let's
No.
not put you
I
down
want
here. You're super smart.
I want you
You're
to
not.
understand it's more than just being smart. It's because I do understand what's going on, because there's other reasons why. But one of the big things here is that why has it been playing out? It's not just based on the internet, it's based on the understanding of what they are actually doing. It is understanding that we went 60 days, we go to a ceasefire because we flatten them. Now we can blockade them, and we are much lower risk than if we had to blockade them before flattening them. Now we can move ships through the strait. Now we have a stranglehold of
Yeah.
the actual negotiations because
So
we have the power now. They don't. Why would we
Landy,
want to
Landy,
capitulate and give up power?
Landy, let me ask you one simple question. Then I totally want David, who I know wants to jump in on this. Then why don't we go? Listen, you open the Strait of Hormuz, we will lift the blockade, but only when we have the uranium. The blockade remains until we have your uranium. Why would we not be like, there's no lifting of the blockade until we get the uranium? Why would we be like, okay, now we'll lift the blockade because you said you won't have nuclear weapons? Why not? Hey,
Because I can.
we lift it. We lift it. We lift it when we get what we want, not before.
Okay.
Why not? Why not,
By the
Landy?
way,
Why not?
It's not like we're going to
Can
leave.
hold on one second. I want to answer some. They
ahead.
pick pro-Israel candidates. That's the whole point. Let me tell you something, man. I know you guys are brainwashed by mainstream media and some of your favorite, rage baiting influencers on here.
Wow. Here goes David
Hold
throwing
on.
us under the bus.
No,
No,
not
not
you
us,
guys.
not
Both of
us.
us.
I'm
We're
answering.
tossed under the
reading the
I know
bus.
chat.
you don't see that.
Landy, we got two buses coming at
Bro,
us.
He's reading
I'm
the
so-
chat. Not
I'm
us.
reading the chat. I know you don't know how to read, but I'm reading this chat over here. And on the right, somebody said that. So I'm saying that at the end of the day, number one, it's funny how you guys think that Israel's going to be wiped off the map. That's never going to happen. Israel, I am 100% behind Israel when it comes to them having a land. Okay.
Me too.
So, like,
Me too,
the
David.
whole shit, you'll never turn me against Israel. Okay, like I don't know you and to think that the United States of America, there are people that are bought out by Israel or Israel runs America, you're fucking stupid. Okay, let me just say this
Agreed.
again to you.
Agreed.
You are dumb. Okay, because Israelis in Israel believe that America runs Israel, and Americans in America believe that Israel runs America, which is not true. You guess what? The
Yep.
little
Yep.
money that APAC donates to whoever, left or right, is nothing compared to what Big Pharma donates into the pockets of your favorite
These are
Democrat or
facts. These are facts.
Okay?
These are
Qatar.
facts.
And if
they
you
donate
want,
a massive amount.
I can
Yep.
bring out a whole list
Yep.
of numbers for you guys because you sound stupid. Okay. You know who runs America? It's Big Pharma before you even want to go ahead and put Israel into the
Yep.
fucking equation. Okay.
Yep.
And if Israel ran shit, then they would be reporting positively about Israel on the news and not negatively. And you wouldn't see, by the
Yep.
way, the guy who
Yep.
is owned
You're
by
right.
Israel.
You're right.
You talk about Trump being owned by Israel. It's funny how Trump is smacking the shit out of Bibi, okay? And talking about what the fuck are you doing, which has been recorded and written out by liberal media, okay? Your boys, liberal media, are writing it out that Trump has been smacking around Bibi, okay? Nobody, and I'm telling you right now, whether you like Trump or not, nobody can control Donald J. Trump. Nobody. This man will do as he pleases, okay? Period. You're not going to have any advisor, vice president, secretary of state telling Trump how he needs to fucking act. Okay? You can tell that by his goddamn social media account. So you guys are fucking idiots. It's time to wake up. Stop listening to Rachel Maddow or whoever the fuck you're listening to. Okay? Your favorite influencer that knows that by saying Israel is bad, okay, that automatically they get 1 million fucking impressions. Maybe, just maybe, maybe just maybe you fucking think for once in your fucking life and realize that Israel controls nothing. AIPAC and their little $5 do nothing. They do not control mainstream media, because if they did, then the messaging would be a little bit different. And you would be on different side of the fence, and you wouldn't see things that you're not supposed to see, air quotes, right? So when you say that, you sound like an idiot, and you're feeding right into the fucking machine.
So, David, you just, first of all, you got your great social media clip. But I will say this. First of all, hold on. You're muted yourself. But hold on, it's good. First of all, you're right. Israel is not controlling Trump. That said, when you say nobody controls Trump, I agree. But that said, I think Trump does play to influences that he wants that are in his best interest. He is not fucking God. He is not fucking Jesus. Like, I do think that he has interests, and some are for the better of the country, some are the better for himself, some are the better for his friends, the Epstein files, some are the better for the big corporate interests, which could benefit the country. But I don't think he's not without influences. That's all I'm saying. He does have influences. I don't think
Trump is the
Israel's
type of
running
person
him.
that, yes, when he's in a room, you can sway him a little bit when you talk and praise him. But you will not make, like, Trump will not allow, when it comes to being a leader, he will not allow this perception that BB controls him. Like, Trump,
He doesn't control him. I don't think Israel controls Trump at all.
Whatever BB says, he jumps. Trump is, I voted for Trump. There's many reasons why, but one is his ego. His ego is so fucking huge that he will not let not a single person outshine him.
I agree. I actually agree with you about this.
So
this
saying
is you
that
and I agree. I
do you
absolutely
imagine
agree.
to say that Israel owns Trump and they're dictating the terms?
I don't think they do. I don't think they own Trump
I'm saying
1
these
second.
people that tune in to these people that sit on social media all day in a goddamn space, boots on the ground, reporting Mario High, reporting on these things. You are clueless
Wow, you
about
just threw
geopolitics,
Mario
and
under
you're
the
just
bus. You
clueless
just threw Mario
about
under the
culture.
bus. Let's go for it. Hold on. Let's throw Mario under the bus again. I like that.
No, but it's just like when you sit there, oh my God, and you're interviewing fucking Tucker Carlson, okay, who used Trump to go ahead and build his platform. Like, please, like, can we fucking be adults for once? Sit back regardless of your fucking religion and just call for what it is, okay? It's a bunch of people in an era of rage baiting that are using something that's currently popular and trending right now. And that is, if you say something bad about Israel, you're going to get more likes than if you say something positive about it. That's it, okay?
Totally true.
And
Totally true.
Zionist, you know what Zionist means, you idiots that walk around here and say,
true.
oh, you're Zionist. Zionist means that Jews or Israel has the right to exist. That's what it means. That is all that it means. And I know that it's hard for you to comprehend because you don't understand anything. You have an education of a fifth grader. You've never studied geopolitics, and you couldn't show me Israel on a goddamn map. Sit this one out.
Don't worry, Landy. He's not talking about you right now.
No, I'm
Landy.
not talking
He's
about
not talking
Landy.
about you.
I'm not talking about Landy. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these absolute uneducated motherfuckers that sit on social media all day and they use trigger words. That's it. Hate will always get more engagement than positive.
But
shit.
David and Landy, can I say this? We live in a partisan world. We only have two major parties in this country. And, I worked in the Clinton administration. I saw Republicans, Democrats, I was right inside it. Both sides weaponize it. So at some level, each side will go after the other side, which is why I hate that we don't have a more independent, awesome, powerful, independent, platform for candidates. But that's just what they do, right? You guys, they do it. The Republicans go after the Dems go after the Republicans. They don't really care about the American people. They care about taking out the other side. This is what it is. Sorry.
Well, I just want to let everybody know that Israel is not running shit. Okay, that's it. Israel ain't running shit. Your perception. Listen, you talk about all Jews are rich. 99% of Jews are making it by. Okay? Every single fucking culture, every single fucking religion has a percent that are absolutely fucking rich and they control things. It's not just the Jews, there's
Yep.
Christians and there's Catholics.
Yep.
Let's look at the Catholic
Yep.
Church. Let's look at all these big ass.
Hey, David,
Ever
how
watch
about you
Sunday
look at the
service?
socialists
What's
and the
this guy's
communists?
name?
How about you look at the
Hold on.
communists?
Hold on.
How about you look at the communists? All
No,
the
no, I
people
want
in
to.
Cuba, China,
What's the guy's
they
name?
all make money.
What's the guy's name?
The
Bill
elites.
Olson? This dude, man, are you kidding me? These are the type of people that control the narrative and messages, man. Like every fucking religion has a piece of control, and it's not just the Jews. The Jews are an easy scapegoat. The Jews have always been an easy scapegoat. It goes to the beginning of time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it is what it is.
Landy's been very quiet, David. Landy's been very quiet over here.
Landy's showing you
He's-
proof that shit's happening in Iran. That's what he's showing. He's fucking showing proof that shit's happening. Okay. Anyway,
He's been quiet. David, those are good points, by the way. He's got to acknowledge, hold on. I got to acknowledge for all our fun games, whatever, you're absolutely right about what happens in the macro picture of this. And you're 100% right. That's actually a really, it was a great, analysis of what we do. And you're right. The Jews get thrown under the bus every time. Like, it's like, wow.
because I'll tell
wow.
you why.
Throw the Jews under the bus. Throw the Jews under the bus.
I'm gonna say something about Jews. Jews do not fight back. You have a small percentage that will fight back, but most Jews don't fight back. They're just silent. So they're not aggressive. They don't fight back. So it's an easy target. That's all it is. Like I'm being serious. Jews do not fight back, and they're not good at fighting back. Okay, and that's really it. So that's why people take liberties all the time to go after Jews.
Yeah, you might be right. Well,
I'm
they're
not
also,
listen,
yeah, it's an
not
easy
every
target.
Jew is
It's an
good.
easy target.
Not every Jew is good. Not every Christian is good. Not every Catholic or Muslim is good. Everybody got the bad seed, but I'm telling you right now, the biggest Achilles heel for Jews is they do not know how to fight back. That's it. And that's bottom line. And that's why the attacks happen. But you do have Bibi and you have Israelis who are proud. Israelis are proud to be Jewish.
And I got to be honest, David, I love Bibi. I love that he is fucking unrelenting. I fucking love it. I love that he
Listen,
does not
I
back
also
down.
want to say, though,
I know he's got his own, I know he has got his own
I
interests.
think he's crazy.
I know he's trying to win
No,
re-election, but
he's
I
crazy.
fucking love it.
I think Bibi's crazy. I'm not his biggest fan. I also would love to see, like,
I'm a big fan.
I know.
fan.
Listen, I get it. My thing is, like, I would have loved to see, like, it sucks. What happened in Gaza sucks. It does suck. And we, as human beings, we have to acknowledge
Yeah,
it.
you know what? Hold on, David. Hold on. It sucks or it doesn't. Seriously? If I hear one more person tell me
No, hold on.
Hold on. If I hear
No.
one more person, hold on. No, let me say this. If I hear one more person, I'm not saying you're saying this, but if I hear one more person say, "Oh, Israel's an apartheid state. Oh, Israel wants genocide." I'm like, seriously? Fucking stop.
No, so I'm not going there.
Literally, that's not
where
what's
I'm
happening.
going. No, I'm not going with that because I don't believe that's what was being. This is war, okay? And unfortunately, this is what happens when you have Hamas, a bunch of terrorists attacking. They go ahead and do it October 7th, right? October 7th, they go in and they fucking murder over 1,200 people or injure, all combined. And they're showing videos all across social media. Israel has to retaliate. And this is war because Hamas, instead of using the money to help their people, they used it to build tunnels. I'm just repeating everything that you already know to be the truth. And they're using humans as shields. And it sucks. That's the part that I'm saying that sucks. Okay? That's what sucks. But I hope there's peace in that region one day. That's it. I really do. I hope there's peace in the region. But I'm telling you right now, Israel ain't going nowhere. The whole thing of get rid Israel. No, Israel ain't going nowhere. Bottom line. So when you ask me
Yeah,
if I
but
support
David,
Israel,
can we
I
say,
support Israel as
David,
they have the
David,
right to exist.
David,
Israel 100% has the right to
yeah,
exist.
you know what?
I don't care what anybody
Hold
says.
on.
You
I
can
want to take
unfollow
it a
me
step
right now
further.
if you
Hold
don't like
on.
that.
Can we take it a step further? I hate this. Israel has a right to exist. How about Israel is literally defending itself from, again, right to exist? Of course, we all have a right to exist. But at the end of the day, is Israel an apartheid state? No. Is it a genocidal, like committing genocide? No. Like, are they fighting enemies that want to eradicate them off the map? Yes. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a right to exist. I think that's literally, I've said it myself, David. I've said they have a right to exist. I'm like, actually, they don't just have a right to exist. Like, you don't have a right to fucking annihilate them. Like, that's where I look at it. It's like, sorry, they're going to take out their enemies. Sorry, I'm not going to apologize for it. Have they done things wrong? Yes.
Who is
Have they
Landy
gone too
fighting
far?
with, by the way?
Sometimes, yes. But that's, but I don't know.
Who is
Landy
Landy
went
fighting
away.
with in
He
the comment?
got
Can
caught
you?
up with a puppet.
Who is he fighting with in the
Landy
comment section?
disappeared on us. I
I
don't
Oh no,
can't
know.
I'm
see
I
him.
don't
here.
know. He's
I'm
not
here. I'm
speaking.
right here.
Bro, who you fighting with?
Oh
Are
no,
you talking to
today
yourself?
today's the day where the haters want to come in and come for the puppet. See, what they don't
Who?
realize is that the puppet actually knows more about blockchain
Hold
than
on, I
this
don't
kid
even see him.
here.
Let me look at my account.
This
I
kid
can't
here,
see it.
he's trying to say, "Oh, he doesn't know anything about crypto or blockchain. How do you know anything? You don't have any real data." Really, brother? I push
Who?
I don't know
Oh, this
this
kid?
some troll. I don't care. But the funny part is like it's just there's a lot of trolls that come in. They like to come at the puppet. Everybody likes to come for the puppet, but why don't you come for the puppet when you're pushing 50 gigawatt hours out of energy to the Bitcoin network? And that's just one site for off-grid
Hold on.
flare
Okay,
gas mining for
let me
Bitcoin.
say this.
I don't know
Let me,
about blockchain, brother. You don't know
I'm
anything
jumping in.
about
I'm
blockchain
jumping
compared
in
to me.
now. Okay. Hold on one second. Number one, see, this is the problem in crypto. I'm going to explain why there's a problem in crypto and why you're currently sitting on negative 100% bags. The reason is you people like NFT King, people like you chase out the OGs out of this space. Somebody like Landy goes ahead, puts out content, and stands on it whether they're right or wrong. Go look at my fucking timeline. I haven't deleted shit whether I was right or wrong. At that time, that is our opinion. That's what we research it, we look, we put it out there. Nobody's ever fucking charged you a goddamn cent for it either. So this is what you do. You guys don't know how to be positive. You're not builders. You're critiquers. You sit there, your Monday morning quarterback shit, okay? And you look for ways to go ahead and instead of congratulating motherfuckers for coming out
Yeah.
here and trying to build in a space that is still relatively young, you chase people away. You chase
Yeah.
people away and you make people have paywalls because nobody wants to fucking deal with you. Okay? You people that come in here that don't listen, you can have a difference of an opinion, but to then come in here and discredit people for fucking hours of research, putting it together and giving it to you for free. That's the problem, and that's why you chased out so many
Yeah.
goddamn
I'd
veterans
like to
that
thank you
retired.
for seeing as they're in the
You're
NFT
right,
space.
David. You're right, David.
And
And Landy, hold
I
on,
was one of the
Landy,
biggest
Landy, you
I had
deserve,
a massive stake in
hold on.
Ethereum when the gas fees are really high. So I appreciate that because you were paying me money hand over fist the entire fucking time, brother. This person has no clue what they're talking about. See, this is the problem in blockchain is they assume that
Landy,
the
you
account
deserve,
age is how long you've been in crypto. But brother, I've been here since 2011. All right. I've been around for a long time.
Landy,
I'm part of the infrastructure that you guys like to come and build on. Okay. So when you want to go and you attack people, the 50 gigawatt number, that's just one location for Bitcoin mining alone. I
yeah,
support other networks as well, proof of stake networks. I'm in all of those. When you get all happy about all these players that come in through the VC side, do you realize that those VCs, they go and they gather money from investors that come onto your networks and then support the actual networks? That's us, brother. That's us. You have no idea who you're talking to. You might be looking at a Bitcoin puppet on the other end. You look at the account, you're like, "Well, this thing's been around since 21 and
Landy,
I've been here since
Landy,
17."
Landy,
You're
Landy,
you're not an OG. You're whack. You're here
Lan-
talking NFTs
yes,
still, like
yes,
it's
Landy,
still the
yes,
holy
Landy.
grail of blockchain. Go fuck yourself.
Landy, hold on,
All right,
hold on. Everybody, calm down. And
Landy,
Rob,
can you
I'll let you guys get your last words. Hold on.
hold,
It's because I'm not heading towards a
hold on?
6-hour show.
I
Hold
want to
on,
just
hold
say
on.
this.
I will give you the mic. I know
I
you're
just
on
want to
freaking
say
wireless.
this
Hold
real
on.
quick.
Hold on, Rob. 1 second. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, and I'm gonna give Landy 60 seconds to wrap this up. I want
Well,
to
no
say
criticism of Landy here.
we
This
were
is
going.
an acknowledgement. Landy,
Hold
hold
on,
on.
Rob.
Landy, can you hear
Can't-
me?
can't fucking- Rob, hold on 1 second, bro. I just want to say, to end on the crypto topic, I believe that SpaceX might be the catalyst that takes. It might be the catalyst in the same way that the Wall Street bets and the Roaring Kitty were the catalyst back in 2021 to go ahead and send the
Yeah,
markets. I'm just gonna put that out there. Rob, you got
yeah.
60, then Landy.
All right. All right, Landy, I just want to say about your comment about you, which again, I love that you said that. So I don't know. A lot of people might not know who Craig Sellers was, part of Tether, the whole thing, right? I watched Craig
Yeah.
Sellers listen to a couple, older man and woman who were literally trying to explain why he was full of shit. And I was like, wow, he did what you did. He was like, I was like, seriously, why don't you tell him to shut the fuck up? Like, they have no idea what they're talking about. He's like, oh, okay. You're talking to the guy who fucking built this, right? Like, that's how I see you, Landy. Like, you're like, you know what? Say what you want, people. I was part of this. And everybody listening should realize, Landy, that you obviously were and are, even though you have a puppet with your finger up his butt, that's okay. Like we let that go. I'm making fun, but like like you really have been there, and I love this dialogue. And David, for all his like mic grabbing stuff, whatever, he's like, he loves Trump, but he also understands. Like we're all three cognizant, intelligent people having a dialogue, and that's what this fucking country needs: is people to have these conversations. So good for you, good for David, good for me in a little way. I'm not you guys, but seriously, David understands this. Like seriously, like people should stop the hate and be like, oh, wow, maybe there's something I could learn here. That's all I'm going to say. I'm done. That was 60 seconds, David. I took my
Thank you,
60
Rob.
to
Appreciate
compliment you
you.
both.
Landy, what you got for us for 60?
So on that note, what a lot of people online, they make a lot of assumptions. They see a PFP or they see a profile and somebody that talks about blockchain or cryptocurrencies, and everybody thinks they play this game of one-upsmanship of like, I've been here before you, you don't know shit. There's small accounts of people that have been here sub 3,000 Bitcoin, sub 1,000 Bitcoin, sub $100 Bitcoin, sub $10 Bitcoin. They don't have massive accounts. They're not out there touting it, but I actually talk to these people on a pretty regular basis. Some of them are just regular people. Some of them got involved in mining. Some of them got involved in actual DAO infrastructure back when that was the thing. But there's a lot of OGs that hang out. And part of the problem with this newer crop, especially post 2017, they come in like they understand everything about this industry. Like they understand because they were there for the big run up from 18 and 19. And by the way, into 20 and 21, by the way, most of them lost their asses because they don't know how to trade and they got built and they don't know what they're doing. They got
True.
into NFTs at the highs and now they're crying for cycles on end because they'll never make their money back. But then they actually, when people come up that have been here for a very long time and want to have conversations, whether it's on various shows or whether it's on spaces or whether they're putting out maybe their opinion on something or their analysis on something online, they come for their heads. And those people no longer want to talk to you. And some of those people actually have alpha from the inside because they know they're invested in this stuff from the early days, whether it be on the mining side or the network side and infrastructure side. Some of them might have gotten into some of those companies. Some of these guys, I talk to them. I'm in chats with them. Some of these guys are influential in actually setting up the process for OTC and how any of this is going to spot ETFs or DATs, the whole nine. And they're the ones making the connections from TradFi to your hyper liquids of the world. And you would never know their names because they don't want you to fucking come for their heads because they don't want to deal with your bullshit. People like me, I can sit here because I got the time. I got the time for you. So you want to challenge the puppet? Come for the puppet's head. Let's see how much you really know about this game because I've been here for a long ass time. Come for the puppet. Get in my comments. Bring it, brother. Because anybody like that, whether it's the one before this guy or the next one, any of you, you got nothing. And you get exposed very, very quickly for how much you don't know because you think you know because you've been pumped up in these little groups that go around and cabal from chain to chain, and you think you understand what's going on. And I'll say this, I've said this before, 99.9% of those Bitcoin accounts that built their brand on Bitcoin aren't even real Bitcoiners. That's why many of them sold out to go AI. That's why, but still, Bitcoin's great for marketing. So they still say they're a Bitcoin maxi or they're this maxi or that maxi.
Yeah.
But they already sold out from under you. And guess what? You were their exit liquidity. And bravo to them for fucking using your dumbasses as exit liquidity. Because guess what? I have to. Thank you for being my exit liquidity NFT king at the top of the NFT market. Not only did you pay me the entire time, but I got free airdrops of NFTs that I dumped on your fucking face, and you're still here crying. Don't worry, it'll come back, buddy. You're going to make it. I promise.
I want to thank
David shutting
you
you
guys.
down, man. Can
I
I
want to thank
just say, can you guys hear me? Can I
God
just
damn it. What
say,
is this? A
I
fucking
appreciate
what
both.
kind of finale is this?
Can I just say I appreciate both of you, and I hope everyone listening realizes this is the kind of conversations we need to be having.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Shout out
David.
to
Thanks,
Landy.
Rob.
Shout out to tune into Rob Nelson on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as he talks about everything that's trending, essentially. Obviously, he's been on the political tip and he knows politics, but he does talk about everything. So tune in to the Rob Nelson Show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can catch Landy breaking down the markets, especially on Mondays and Wednesdays. Today at 9 p.m., you can catch Landy and his friends live streaming and talking about the markets. So tune in at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At Gockstein, you can see the stream, or you can follow Landy at CryptoLandy on X. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys.
Love it. Hey, let's just also throw David, like, seriously, you managed to do
Appreciate you,
this
David.
with a lot of dignity, grace, and, like doing it kind of authentically, which I think is powerful. So let's shout out to you too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like you guys. Pause.
Same.
Have a great day and an even better tomorrow. There you go. I'm getting rid of them because they're all angry. It's fucked up when you disrespect people. Like I felt Landy's pain. Like fuck you disrespecting people for, man. You guys have done nothing in this space. There are real builders out here that have built and continue to build and build, and you come here and you disrespect them. That's why I'm telling you, a lot of people have retired. They don't fucking participate in any of your shit, and that's why you broke. A lot of you guys are trying to rally the troops. Well, who are you rallying? By the way, what are you guys rallying? You got no money to rally shit. All 30 of you guys and 40 of you guys coming together in the trenches, you can't even send anything above $10 million. You know why? Because you've went ahead and disrespected everybody who has money. And it's the truth. You guys get happy when you hit 500K. You can't send nothing. Y'all can't do shit. All 500 people in a goddamn chat can't send something past $10 million. That's because you chased away every single person who actually came here to sing Kumbaya, wanted to see everybody win together, built things, and now you chased them away. So you're next to some kid who's playing Fortnite, who's dumping a fucking percent of tokens for $3 profit on your fucking forehead. That's what's happening. Shout out to Tristan for coming on. Tristan Thompson came on. Shout out to Tristan for coming on. We had a good conversation. Hopefully we'll bring him back on later in the year. Obviously to touch on, I definitely want to touch on the finals and see after, you know, they're over and see who wins. And obviously I got Knicks in 5. My mayor's still what? How's it go? My mayor's still Muslim. My bagel's still Jewish. What hold on. The mayor, my mayor's still Muslim. My bagel's still Jewish. I gotta find it. It's something with the Pope and then Knicks in 5. Anyway, I do think the Knicks go ahead and win. I think the Knicks win. I think they took the heart out of San Antonio. I don't see them having the players. I was speaking to Tristan about this. I don't think they have the players like LeBron himself, Kyrie, to make a comeback. Though I understand where Tristan's coming from. They're a young team. They're young. But I just feel like the Knicks, they got this. They got 3 games to close it out. They got 3 games to close it out. Guys, it is Friday, June 12th. It is 3:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday here, almost 90 degrees, and I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it, okay? Thank you for tuning in. As always, we will be back on TikTok on Monday, hopefully, praying that we will be back on TikTok on Monday. Shout out to the sponsors, Midnight. I'm in Midnight City. You can catch me in Midnight City. We're going to break down Midnight City. I'm going to do a whole tour from breaking it down on Kick, on TikTok, on YouTube, on X. I'm going to do this to where it's not a multi-stream. We're going to do this one by one as well. So anybody who did not sign up for Midnight City, shoot me a DM. Let's form a little gang on there. You know what I'm saying? Poly Market is the official prediction market sponsor of this show and the DG brand. Shout out to them. Cake Wallet doing great things. I might go ahead and do something where if you show me that you've downloaded the Cake Wallet, I might do a giveaway in a thread. I'll post it. Anybody who shows a screenshot is eligible to go ahead and win. I don't know. Maybe I'll do $500. Maybe I'll do $3. I don't know. It depends on my mood. But $500 in Bitcoin, or maybe 1 Monero. I don't know. We shall see. Maybe 2 Litecoin, 3 Litecoin. Make sure you download Cake Wallet and have a screenshot of it to participate. Maybe we'll do it next week in Quad Network. We're going to have Dr. K on here on Thursday, and we're going to break down the network a little bit, okay? For 20 to 30 minutes, we're going to break down the network and how it benefits Bitcoin, okay? On that note, if I can find my goddamn mouse. If my mouse is not working, yo, this is great. My mouse is not working now. What the fuck is going on? The monitors, the mouse. Are you serious? The mouse is not working. The mouse ain't working. Oh, there it goes. Anyway, have a great day. And an even better tomorrow. I'm going to go get myself a little buzz in terms of a haircut. Peace.